March 2020. Those were simpler times. No, this is a little bit of a reset, a little bit of a change, and now we're back to Sumail on OG versus Alliance. And what are you chuckling at? It's a good look.
He just looked at me and started laughing, which is apparently is very common in this work in this industry. We'll be contacting the HR department about that.
Do you feel like you're not taken seriously enough, Jenkins?
Nobody takes me seriously. People correct me. Why are you laughing?
Nothing. Just taking you.
I look like a Scooby-Doo villain again, don't I?
Yes, you do. What happened to the denim vest? You didn't want to go for the Canadian tuxedo again?
No. I got made fun of for that. I was bullied.
It's my fault. I should have taken the any key pledge. If I see it online, I want to speak up and say something. What do you have to say about Alliance AUI 2000? How do you feel about them so far?
They've looked better at this event than the major.
Yeah, that's true.
I think their lanes have looked a little bit susceptible. We saw even in the games against VP, like they sort of got crushed into lanes and snowballed, but their team fighting has looked very good. They're able to come back, like in the same game 2 versus VP, they came back with a 5k deficit. They're very patient with their spells. I think S4 is really good at controlling how team fights occur. He's really good at just maneuvering around those.
Yeah, and most importantly, they pick Hoodwink.
They do.
They're believers in the Squirrel, which, when you're talking about team fights, is there a better hero at high-skilling team fights than somebody who has a low cooldown stun that can play in the trees, that has a multiple skill shots, right? I'm not on tangos here, this is real.
No, you're speaking the clarity. I can hear it.
Thank you.
And I want to hear about how Limp has been dealing with summer in the heat.
I think a lot of the inconsistency can come from the fact that they pick so many different heroes. Like Io Gyro, they did not pick that at all for their last 25 games or something, and then they're pulling that out. But on the other side, equally diverse hero pool, Sumail has been looking really good. He just pulled out this axe carry. He was Naga. Some games he's Medusa. Other games he's playing Nature's Prophet or Leshrac. I mean, he's looking really good. A lot of people are kind of pinning him as this mid laner that has switched to the carry position. He's only going to be playing these mid lane crutch carries, but that's not true. Axe is just about the last thing you'd expect a mid lane carry to be able to play.
What about the Leshreks and the Nature's Prophets, though? Because we saw in the first series, Sumail and Medusa, we said that was them calibrating if Sumail can play hard carries. I'm sure you're familiar with the fact that he can, but what do you find him strongest on, Curtis?
I think Sumail has always been known for his laning and just his aggressiveness from the mid lane. I personally like Sumail when he plays sort of the more tempo heroes. I think he played CK at this tournament. He looked really good on that. You can win your lane and sort of make some early moves. Even on Medusa, I think he farms pretty aggressively, which I like to see. Like, if he knows he's strong enough to take an area and take some farm from his opponents, he's always looking to do that. I think that's the hallmark of a really strong player.
Well, and I think the type of team that's going to allow you access to jungle camps that are like closer to the enemy base, it's going to be OG. It's going to be a team that like creates chaos, that thrives on chaos. It's going to be top teams playing as hoodwink, diving your base, like doing ridiculous things. Like that opens up camps to you that other carries wouldn't be able to farm without that supporting cast.
And as it so happens, we had a chance to speak to Sumail about his hero picks and their expectations for TI.
When the stakes are this high, you can't really think about what's boring. Ideally, you want to play something that's fun and good for the game, but the priority is what's good for the game. If it's good, it's good. You know, you gotta pick it even if you don't enjoy playing it as much. Yeah, so we got together like 4 days ago. It's me and Yuan and others are playing from home. So it's TI calls are coming up. Taking it one step at a time. Don't want to set expectations too high because that's when you crash a lot. For now, yeah, just getting there is the goal. We'll take it from there.
Wants to put himself in position right behind him. They're giving them no chance to retreat. They're stuck.
F&G was kind of salty that we didn't give it to him more during the majors, so I figured why not give it to him here. We were hot and cold on it, especially after Alliance got completely smashed by VP by first phasing it, but then they won. And I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe it's not that bad. And it was against the Timbersaw in one of the games, and now here they have Timbersaw on their team.
Yeah, I think we saw at the major that LGD, they destroyed EG's Timbersaw with Axe carry. And we came to this event, and I've seen, I think, a couple axes where they have Axe against Timbersaw and they're not laning it against him. Do you know why that is, Jenkins?
Why they're not laning the Axe versus Timber?
Yeah, because at the major,
I remember back before either of these heroes got nerfed. So Timbers got nerfed in his reactive, Axes got nerfed in his spin. It was a really like on razor's edge sort of matchup where like whichever hero gets like one extra wave or like support gets a good pull off. Like the hero that takes a little bit of an advantage takes a huge advantage, which is why I think you see the polar opposite thing happening depending on the game, where like Timber's either feeding off of the Axe or vice versa, that Timber's doing really horribly. And it seems to still be the same as the old days.
Okay. We haven't seen any offlane Timbers beat Axes yet, though, right? I guess it was only the one game
I
of
think-
major. Like we have 1 point of data.
I think carry acts, like starting with the first wave advantage being in front of your tower, as well as like a lot of the fives, like, you know, some ancient apparition, something like that against Timber. Like Timber's early levels just really suck. I think it's easier to take an advantage with the axe, but once you get the level 2 Q on Timber, you can kill axe. I think we saw Seb yesterday killing axe when axe had 2 levels on him or something like that.
Okay.
With the 2 points in the queue.
I guess the big thing about the safe lane is that Axe can use Battle Hunger to help his support, and Timbersaw doesn't really help on the side at all.
Yeah,
you always
true.
get to like secure pose and the EXP advantage.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, not necessarily just about the hero-to-hero matchup, but also the pairings that both of them have, which no idea if this is going to be a Sebax or a Sumail quite yet. It's part of the fun of seeing it as a first phase pick. Meanwhile, for Alliance, I'm kind of coming around to Hoodwink as a first phase pick. I think even though it has like basically 0 flex potential in the hands of Alliance, for one thing, it's a denial pick because Thompson's been spamming this mid Hoodwink, so
Yeah,
it
get
kind of
it
takes
out.
it out of their hands.
Get it out. It's just weird. It's just weird to play against. Soxa yesterday with the arrows and the Hoodwink Bushwhack. I mean, how the hell can you expect that?
I know.
It's like, oh, I got a creep wave here. I'm fine. Oh, the Bushwhack pushed me like between the creep waves. There's an arrow already coming. That's not so good. It's like, how do you predict that sort of stuff?
And I think apart from the 2 games in Alliance vs VP, this hero has looked really good at both the major and this tournament. Even when Quincy Crew lost to OG, they sort of did the same thing. They denied picked the Hoodwink. I think Mojo ended that game 5-1 or 6-1. Like he was looking good on the hero. So I can understand the first pick. It's probably a hero that's undervalued because I think it performs a lot better in competitive than it does in pubs. I mean, I've read some posts about some 80% win rate Hoodwink spammers, but they're like Guardian or something. So
Yeah, in this tournament, it was shown as roadkill on the beginning of our meta report. Sub 30% win rate, I think, but there was experimentation. Even the mid Hoodwink from Thompson also didn't look that great when they initially started running it, so needed a bit of refinement, but it seems refined now at this stage of the tournament.
Yeah, the thing with Hoodwink is that if you're picking it as like a 5 especially, or a 4 to some degree, you're never going to be like, oh, why do we have a Hoodwink? It has stuns.
Yeah.
It's just a stunner with a break nuke ulti, like a big nuke, and some wave clear. It's annoying in trees. It's like picking a Crystal Maiden. You're never like, why is this hero on my team? I think you'd be more likely to ask why Crystal Maiden's on your team than a Hoodwink. It just always performs fine. On the mid lane, I think it's way more of a risk, which is exactly why Thompson gets off the playing this hero. He just loves those risky kind of mid laners where it's just feast or famine. There was a Reddit poll that won out between feast or famine, or it's like hit or miss or something like that.
it was bread and butter.
Bread and butter, yeah, it's his bread and butter, absolutely, as Aoi was saying.
As I was saying.
Back to you, Aoi.
So right now, one thing that OG is lacking is they're lacking a little bit of team fight. I mean, both sides really. But if you pick Axe and Mirana, you're very single target because Call, while it's an AoE spell, you pretty much only, other than the Sabs, you pretty much only see it hit on one target. And, Potom is mostly picked for the arrow.
They ban out the Lina, and they have a Mirana. I wonder if Phoenix might be a consideration for OG. It's only to figure out their 5 position.
Tell
me.
Sumail does play carry Mirana.
Oh.
But he's not going to do it because it's terrible. But, if there's any team that's going to do something like that.
They go for a different bird, the more popular bird, Winter Wyvern. I doubt we'll see an Aghanim Scepter this game like we did on Zephyr last game.
That was a cool build.
That was a cool build, but I still feel like Locket is the go-to.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, even against heroes like Hoodwink and Timbersaw, who you're setting up for Bushwhack as well as his Sharpshooter, all of Timbersaw's abilities, the Holy Locket is still so good. It just seems like it heals through almost anything that you need to have like 5 heroes that abuse the Cold Embrace to actually punish it. Just 1 or 2 doesn't seem like it's quite enough.
I'm kind of surprised that we're not seeing more Slark as a response to Winter Wyvern. I feel like being able to build up Essence Shift on Cold Embrace targets is underrated.
It's a pretty hard matchup for Slark though, because you get ulted and you just get stunned after. You can't Dark Pact off the Winter Skirts.
Yeah, that's true. That's
true.
I really like playing Winter Wyvern for Slark.
But if anybody's gonna play it would be Nico, baby.
Yeah.
He does like Slark.
He likes
That is
Slark.
true.
He likes to be a shark.
I think they should take Phoenix here on Alliance. I think Phoenix is by far the best counter to Winter Wyvern, as shown a couple times in this tournament. If you heal someone and they get Sun Raid, they don't really heal that much, and the thing that I always like for Cold Embrace is sort of area control spells like Phoenix Egg, Underlord, Pit, where you get out a heal, but you're still baiting your team into a bad position.
You're not worried about Mirana being an egg hitter, already being
I don't think
drafted?
you should be. I don't think Mirana's the same as before. They nerfed the leap attack speed. Like, the talent's not as good. Okay, Skywrath.
Well, I mean, that's like the hero for abusing the Cold Embrace.
Yeah, for sure. I think Miranda will probably just pick up a Force Staff, though.
Yeah.
It is an interesting idea because they have a lot of magical bursts coming out, right? If you get the Skywrath Silence onto anyone,
5
combined with a
seconds
Hoodwink ulti,
remaining.
they will.
Alliances turn to ban. OGs turn to ban. Alliances turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. OGs turn to ban. Alliances turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. OGs turn to pick.
Ripper!
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to pick.
Axe.
Alliances return to pick.
Mirana.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Alliances turn to ban.
Timber Saw!
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to ban.
No.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Alliances turn to ban. 5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Alliances turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Alliances turn to pick.
Winter Wyvern.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to pick.
Sky Wrath Mage.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Alliance's turn to pick.
Morphling.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Alliance's turn to ban.
Wraith King.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. Alliance's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to ban. Alliance's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to pick.
Tiny.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Monkey King.
You may now select your heroes.
Yep.
Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot.
Dude, I love this game so much, man.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Prepare for battle.
История, потому что когда вот до старта еще сезона
I'll be signing autographs out front. I'll be signing autographs out front. Socko, you got rocks in your head. I'll be signing autographs out front.
Taking that tower away.
30 seconds to battle.
Such good alliance. We'll be able to move through really, really nicely. I mean, they've got Moonlight Shadow, they've got Monkey Axe, who eventually, Sumail goes for the same build, is going to be going for that Manta Blink card, so should be a really, really exciting.
I feel like it's similar to last year's where you actually get the really quick, constant fight by OG at one point, you know, when Axe and Monkey line. The build I've always seen on Sep is actually rushing that Witchblade. They use a bunch because, of course, that works. It's like a better Echo Saber. And then you are also very active to fight. The damage is not as important as the slow. And, of course, it does work on those statues. So I used to love that build. But I want to point out something from Alliance Draft that I really liked as well from them. They're actually copying, or that's not copying, but they're taking inspiration, let's say, from a draft that PSGLGD did in the Major as well. If you actually look at the Major, the Tiny had really terrible win rate unless he was paired with Ancient Apparition, because the Ancient Apparition allowed him to get those solo kills really easily. And PSGLGD found out that you could actually pair with a different hero, Scarlet Mage, and have a very similar result. With both the damage amplification, of course the Mystic Flare, you kill almost any hero, and it makes Tiny much more useful. I think the Alliance is trying to use that strat as well. With one of Hanskin's also classical heroes, he's a really good Scarlet Mage.
We'll see how it's going to be working out for them here. We do have this solo lane up top, though. Seb ought to be able to pretty easily bully away S4, so it's that try down bottom, of course. Taking that first point in the Timber Chain just to make sure that Seb's not able to get
In
off
this
those
world,
Jingu stacks and
nothing is certain
kill.
but ice and axes.
Tri lane, though. Got decent setup here available. Arrow eventually Soxa, you call. There's a decent amount of kill, but
I think it's a bit difficult for Alliance because no matter what lane you sent the Timber to, you know, you're going to be a bit... it's going to be a difficult lane. You know, that's why the Monkey King offlane was such a good idea as well. Yeah, it destroys Wraithing in lane, but Axe can deal with him nicely as well in this situation because, of course, you have the safe lane advantage, and Monkey King can continue to put pressure against the Timber. One of the classic counters does good is the Luna, but still blocked there. And then you rotate the Morphling, you do the Morph strats that the panel talked about, and that's some really solid ideas here from OG from the lanes. And then the snowball is easy, right? They're going to wait for that 20-minute timing with the Axe and just go ham from there. While Alliance want to get that farm on the Wraith King as soon as possible and try to use the Blink Dagger activation on Limp a bit earlier than that.
Don't get wet.
I wonder how Thompson's going to want to build this one. Maybe the Echo Saber just for a little bit of extra stats. No, of course not. But, you know, it's going to be a little bit difficult to actually try and burst through his Morphlane if you do more of that style build. As Nico ran down a bit by Sumail. Forts here for Alliance level 1 for now. No Tell eager to abuse that second skill point that they've gotten here as well. Saksa.
She loses a bunch of experience here as an Axe, but as a laner, just really strong. And the Skyreth Mage, I don't feel like does as much. I've seen recently the fourth Skyreth Mages very often will actually get many points in Concussive Shot or Ancient Seal. And in lane, what you'll do is you'll harass with your nice range and your actually decent attack damage. But against an Axe, that's just not as viable. The Battle Hunger can be kind of brutal against you. It's a difficult lane to run here, and the Magic Sticks completely cover them from potential Arcane Bolt kills as well. With no-till, at one point, maybe he can go for a single point in the Cold Embrace, and that'll keep Sumail nice and healthy. How do you...
Top lane, man. This is already going pretty rough for S4. I mean, Seb is out of control already, 18-4 compared to the 9-0. So, unsurprisingly, it's working very, very nicely for them. Of course, reserved waves.
Yeah, it's tough to you're gonna have to do a recovery period for Alliance at some point. They do have some really good ganking potential around that Blink Dagger on Tiny, so as long as his lane goes well, you can combine that with Skyreth Mage and Hoodwink, and you have insane magical burst. I think even kills Morphling, honestly. Even if you don't get him before the attribute shift, it's good enough. In fact, talking about Morphling down, our server couldn't even believe it. Limp just surprised him there with an avalanche and murdered poor Thompson. Out of mana, so he couldn't really attribute shift as effectively.
It's that easy. It's also going to have a little bit of a snowball effect here. We can already see Limp meandering on over and snagging that
out of toss, actually. Alright.
Yep.
With the tree on top of that. Okay, well, I mean, yeah, if you can get those early kills, Morphling has really low range, why not? You can go for it, and that gives you Tiny the advantage that you're looking for anyway, because you're going to be playing around him. Well, at least that's the idea to me from the Alliance draft. Before OG can get online. So it's not too bad, even if the lanes aren't going ideally for them.
Going for, yeah, a bit of a laning build here already pretty early on with those boots after the Quelling Blade and the Wraith Damage. Quite a little bit better. Wow, great kill into Sumail. Acorn shot into the Bushwhack, though. Doesn't allow Hanskin to maybe bump in a little bit of damage. Too much damage, I should say, that Sumail could actually handle.
They guessed correctly the rotation from the Mirana. Go immediately for the Axe as soon as they saw that. Hey, this is the small recovery, but the Monkey King will get online, so Seb could still be a threat for you. He might be able to fight much sooner together with his teammates. In the middle lane, Limp tries to do the same thing again, but Thompson this time has mana, first of all. And second of all, was ready for this. Not full agility when he was caught. Limp won't be able to get that sneaky kill a second time. Won't have to show the recoil a second time. But he does. He's a fan of pinball.
Seb's already got an Orb of Corrosion on the way, though, a full Orb of Corrosion, so he's going to be able to give S4 the boot relatively quickly, already up to level 6. With Timber Chain at least able to get just a little bit of farm every now and then. It's just domination here. Lane.
Yeah, the Timber versus Monkey matchup is not the worst matchup because usually there's a support to help you out and mitigate some of the impact. Compared to a Luna that pairs much nicer with that support, Monkey King is better in the 1v1. But that was the ideal situation you got. And because this is your, per se, weakest lane, is the hard lane, right, for OG, making this work for you makes your bottom lane much easier. And again, stops the tempo from Alliance. Saksa, let's just discover a bunch of stacks here. They probably will be able to steal this. They have an Axe, so I mean, it's honestly the perfect lineup to steal stacks with. Once he gets Vanguard, you're done for. That was Hoodwink mainly stacking it, actually. Hanskin could be in trouble here, but there's no arrow to follow up. They don't want to get a kill. Sumail's just looking for the easy stack money.
Vanguard. I mean, even if Sumail didn't have Vanguard, we've got the complexity strat already that Kyle was keen to bring up and take credit for, because of course they did do it. That rotation top lane from Limp, the Avatos is going to be enough damage along with that chakram for the kill. And as I was saying, here's No-Tell with Cold Embrace if they needed it, but they didn't. Very easily able to tank these up, so all that efficiency. Thank you very much, FNG, for those stacks. It's going to be a nice goal ejection here for Sumail.
At this point, that was almost insulting for FNG. But by the way, let's not forget, this was the score all along. They did this for Sumail. Very happy about this, of course. Now, Berserker's Call. I don't think this should be a kill. Nico has a stun, but the arrow's coming in. Unfortunately, a bit too late. Nico can get away. Regardless, since your axe is this far, I mean, you're happy as OG. You don't need to get any kills. On the Lions side, though, Limp is starting to get online.
They might try again here for Seb. Limp is still idling in the area. They've got a ward down as well. I'm watching over that triangle. They should know that there hasn't been anyone mid for some time. Calling that one out. Subplanet very safe here underneath that tier 1 tower. Limp daring him to go try and contest the creep. You can see how low they keep that creep just to try and bait him in. There goes Limp yet again. Avalanche into the toss. We toss the creep though. Is that going to be enough damage? Not quite. TP's now coming through from the likes of OG.
This isn't the end.
Oh, they actually will be able to chop down Sev. Or in the meantime, escaping in one swift move.
S4 was just on his way out. Got Seb along the way. 4 points in Timber Chain. He knows there's no point in maxing reactive armor against the Monkey King. Instead, get the Timber Chain, more damage to farm creeps later, have a better escape, and on top of that, can get kills on Seb. The rotations have been on point by Limp. Again, they're just playing around the Tiny. They know Wraithing will be able to recover. They're just going to get some kills for him, get him the experience required, and also mitigate some of the impact Seb had in the early game. The net worth between Timber and Monkey King now is even. Limp even finds an arcane room. That's going to be great for one more Avatos here.
Yeah,
and
immediately going for that Blink Dagger, so we're not going to be seeing a very similar build that Thompson tried this morning.
Top tower is under attack.
Echo Saber. Sanjin Yasha, wasn't it?
It was Midas into Echo Saber. Sorry, Midas into Blink into Echo Saber, then the Sanjin Yasha, yeah. We saw the heat map, by the way. Limp has been in the top lane for a while. He knows the easiest lane to gank. Now taking some stacks. Thompson wants to disturb him. Here comes the adaptive strike, but Limp, he just can't take these creeps. He's a bit too afraid. Bottom lane, Nico is also fighting against Sumail, but we're interested to see what happens to these stacks as Saxa joins them. S4 wanted to protect his mid laner. Again, with the lack of reactive armor, though, you don't want to fight head-on just yet.
Well, not much. It's level 3 already, so and he's got the casual cloak for that magic resist. So as soon as that he sidesteps that arrow from Saxa, he's not too scared of these guys. You need to land setup arrow to be able to
Dire's
bonus
bottom
damage.
tower is under attack.
Actually has maxed the Jingu Mastery,
Radiant's
by the way.
middle tower is
So
under
he
attack.
should be. I'm a little bit surprised not to see him take a point in Primal Spring. Not because I mean that's kind of normal for a carry to take points into Primal Spring because that's actually what you farm with. But he's going to be forced to lane a little bit longer. At least his rotation game isn't going to be as strong if he just had a single point. The idea is just S4 closer towards the bottom of this table, and it's a far mission accomplished.
I think the idea is similar to the Midas we saw earlier on Thompson, whereas I don't want to fight now, so why should I build for it, right? The ideally, Alliance doesn't come to my part of the map. I'm not going to try and gank to create space, because I'm going to try to punish them instead when they try to go for me. I'm okay with that. OG has demonstrated this kind of thought process before. Alliance will have to now make the plays and make them correctly, and now the ball's on the Alliance court. Let's see. Limp is very close to that Blink Dagger, not quite yet, as Nico will be desperately trying to find farm. He's not going to take this tower by any means. He's just going to be waiting for Limp here to come online. As FNG, by the way, the king of stacks. Oh my goodness, 9 stacks. I think he stacked at least once per minute. Yeah, yes, actually every single minute. Support possible.
Bottom. He used the call, trying to TP out. There's a restart blast in a second. It will be used to kill the king. The one true king, of course. As Seb now actually having TP down bottom. He'll channel that ultimate up. S4 is able to escape before we can get off the Jingu Mastery stacks. Oh, looks like he's got it actually. We'll be able to lifesteal off of the wave, full HP. Nico seemingly ready to use that level 1 reincarnation because Alliance, they're bringing more people over. There's the Avatos. Just the toss actually needed up from Limp to get the kill onto Seb. They have at least gotten the first reincarnation pops, but no one else here from OG to defend the tier 1 tower.
Are fortified.
Not even wasting time. He knows he needs to go mid immediately. Not chasing after the Mirana. Just goes back to farm, defend the tower as you mentioned. I think the farm is sacrificing by going to other lanes, even if these ganks are not always successful, is worth it for the space that you're creating, and Timbersaw being able to get online. Hell, even the Wraith thing is getting online just because of the rotations and space Limp has made. And then he can always recover just taking a farm from the neutrals here, which is mainly the stacks. I mean, all this farm you're seeing from the neutrals have been the stacks from FNG, some of which actually got stolen by the Morphle.
Yeah, very true. Plus, this was meant to be even higher. If you recall, we did steal the stack right where Nico Baby's at a bit earlier. Sumail was able to take that, and doesn't really keep it.
Sumail was going to be looking, oh, that break, that's going to bother him. He can't spin any longer, so he can't take these creeps. FNG knows this, gets close. The Bushwhack only finds creeps, but actually clears the camp. FNG, he makes stacks, he takes stacks. This man, he's playing the jungle game today.
He is playing a suitable hero for it as well with the squirrel, I would say. It's a really, really nice job there. That is going to let them know that there's vision up here, but because, you know, naturally the last troops in the camp are going to be the fact that he picks all of those up means that it's going to be the most annoying thing possible. By the way, is making really great progress towards that Manta style.
Yep. Okay, other sharpshooter. I mean, FNG here, I think, more than trying to kill Sumail, is just trying to disturb his farm by taking away his passive, and I think that's perfectly correct here. Yeah, so we're gonna see what FNG did here. I love that we get a replay for the farm. That Bushwhack was on the
go, actually. And Skin will open up with the Veil already finished up, and they will be able to catch Sumail, who's just farming one single Ancient camp.
Okay, well, that worked out for them. That was the blink reveal for Limp, right?
Into the smoke play, as well as a quote-unquote Veil of Discord reveal. Not really much of a reveal, but Hanskin sure made it look really damn useful. Going to Sumail in no time.
Here comes Smoke though, kills Rotail immediately, and that's what survived it. The target. Limp was quite tanky, and they just silent Seb. You can't get off the Wukong's command. They throw a tree at him, Seb. It's slow. They actually used the Hoodwink's tree to Timber Chain too. S4 getting closer to the Monkey King. He will get the kill. Revenge for the lane. Then even Bushwhack Thompson, he's been silenced. Last shifting, so S4 wants a second kill. The Brutal Skull from being recalled, which means he can't get that last bit of damage in. Alliance won't be able to finish off Thompson, but they do get a nice little Monkey King.
It's not gonna go for it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, just getting the Monkey King was quite a play there as well. The arrow nearly connecting. Oh, mid lane, actually. Saksa, he's got 2 leap charges here. He's just looking at 4.
Look at that acorn shot play. That was on point. That was really good. I never expected you to do that play with Timber, so that was very clever.
Really nicely done. Of course, the arrow that was meant to lock down S4 a bit longer through the curse, unfortunately, it just got eaten by a creep. So OG, we're expecting a longer duration stun from that curse onto the Timbersaw. We're brutally surprised when it's dead.
And S4 now is completely online from what was a pretty bad lane. He's even going to still go for the Kai and Sanj build. So you have pretty much a tri-core here for Alliance, whereas OG, the Monkey King, lags behind. He's a good utility core, but some good cover as easily as a Timbersaw. Finds Nico Baby. And actually maybe Nico Baby caught him instead, Seb. They make him invisible. That chakram actually broke the Bushwhack, not ideal. He's still been broken, but he's going to be able to get away. No dust. Because they're all cores. How would you carry dust?
He's also really tanky. He's got Hooded Defiance already, so even though that was a pretty well-charged sharpshooter, it didn't all that much to him. Okay. Stack's able to go part of me and clear that easy camp and heal.
Dire's top tower
Limp is actually going for the, by the way.
Radiant's middle tower is
taking
under
notes.
attack.
It's a tip of the hat here towards Thompson.
No, I mean, this is what they always do. Like Echo said, it gives you the burst, right? The difference in Thompson's build was definitely that Midas and SMY. We'll see if he builds the SMY later. Morphling, the target here, Limp. Okay, smoke broke, so he knows they must be in the camp, but Thompson actually sees him. Oh no, pushed into the high ground. Limp, but he has a blink dagger. He's fine. He's just biding his time. He's like, I swear, you hit nothing there. I'm nowhere. He just disappeared.
Top tower has fallen.
It didn't work out for them. Seb actually took the tower in the top lane. A bunch of shenanigans bottom that lead to nothing, which allow OG to at least take a top tower and expand their map a bit further.
They got a D ward out of that, so you know it's not all time wasted at the very least. It was a pretty fresh ward out from OG, so now it's going to be a little bit scarier to go farm in their jungle, where unbeknownst to them, there are 2 Alliance wards in the bottom area of the map. And over. Soxa, though, doing the same on the other side. That aggressive ward. Usually that implies that they're next to try and push its tier 1 tower, usually the mid lane.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Lions, who are a bit of a rapper.
See, Veil Discord's available soon. This is the combo I was talking about earlier with the Skyreth Mage Tiny.
Radiant's
Murders honestly anything they find, even a Morphling. Or perhaps a Winter Wyvern who is really keen on scouting them out. No-tail. Oh, Winter's curse you, so he doesn't want to die. Actually cancel the blink tag with the Arctic Burn. Smart play by No-tail. Really didn't want to die there. I mean, it's honestly worse than Winter's.
He wants to live, yeah. That ward might have been scouted here, but it looks like for now Alliance aren't to get a sentry out there immediately. OG farming confidence in the jungle. Quickly on Sumail, his progress towards Manta nearly finished. In fact, now he's got it with that last little spin. So Manta style completed.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
The Monkey King, do they have any more stuns? With double damage, but not like to save just yet, which means they don't have enough to actually stop that TP. Meanwhile, Thompson actually going to be breaking this tower. There's 2 fights going on. They're trying to kill a soul on the top lane as Thompson. They know there's 2 heroes top, so he's going to be vulnerable and destroyed. Alliance, another easy kill for them here in the mid lane. Top, they can't stop another TP, the bane of Limp for now. But they got a kill on Thompson, so they're quite happy. Hanskin trying to de-ward, found by the Monkey King. Seb is going to finish him off. They still got a mid lane. I think they're quite happy with that. Even the ward got de-warded there.
Yep, that was him dying for the D-ward, which again is very useful because that's now 2 D-wards after not freshly placed observer wards, but definitely in the early half of those wards' life. So we're playing with a little bit less vision now over on the side of OG, which makes it harder for Seb to rotate around as freely. It makes it hard for Sumail to know when and if he's able to farm safely, how far he wants to push. So it's a vision game, really, really important to have versus a team that is going to be mobile. Yeah, but we, you know, the panel was talking about what do you use to punish a cold embrace, and Skywrath Mage is absolutely the answer. Easiest setup in the world here for a nice Mystic Flare, only to be buffed further by that Veil.
I do agree with the point they made about the 4 steps, though. I think you should pick up a couple of 4 steps here this game. Winter Wyvern and Mirana can both pick them up quite useful. I mean, the Holy Lock is still a priority for the Winter, but later on, those 4 steps, not only do they stop you from being killed by the Mystic Flare combo, they might even be able to destroy trees, which gets you rid of the Bushwhack. There's a couple of utility. And the bottom lane this time, Notil still has that ultimate, but not the time to use it. Instead, they'll be looking for a tower here as Alliance, expanding their map further. OG still hasn't gone to the point where they could play their game, you could say. Axe still not online, needs that shard first.
Yeah, Seb is going for the Echo Saber here, by the way, on the Monkey King. I think it's finished now, flying on the way towards him. This no longer slows, and it hasn't for a while, by the way, but it no longer slows, or procs, rather, on the Wukong Connect Ultimate. So that's not a thing, but it is good for farming, for building up your Jingu stacks.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going for the fighter build, which seems to be the case here, right, with a hood, kind of build like a tanky Monkey King that can also just frontline, I think it's pretty solid. Like I said, Seb used to build the Witchblade when he was looking for the slow within those. But then again, he also used to build the Ags at that time because he's a very greedy Monkey King.
Shadows take us.
Probably not the case here. Instead of BKB, play more of the Vanguard Monkey King seems appropriate for this game. Limp really afraid of that tower. Hit it once and moved. Oh no, gotta retreat immediately.
Radiant are scanning.
You never know if there's a monkey waiting for you right on top of the trees. Fortunately for them, he is currently bottom. There's Blink already for Nico Baby, so we were talking about getting ready to fight here with this Echo Saber. That is definitely a fighting item at the ready for the Wraith King. We can fight, though, here on the side of OG, because we've got a vessel with 2 charges in it. There's a kill top lane, though, as Thompson forced into the Hoodwink team to utilize that Bushwhack. Back down bottom, though, they have the tree set, which is going to look deep out, but it's going to be able to blink on in and stop that one. An Avalanche to keep him held down, and that kill is going over to Nico Baby.
Under attack.
Even the small things. Limp knows when you need to cancel a TP, you gotta go for toss first. Avalanche is a bit of the 0.5 seconds it takes to get there.
Prize is mine.
Meanwhile, we see the Hoodwink kill yet again. The observers don't miss a thing. But I think those kills bottom are much more important, as is the one no-tail now, Lions. Yeah, you lost the Hoodwink, but he's your 5, so that's equivalent to the no-tail kill we just got. You know, you being able to take down the Monkey King, really, really valuable. No Wukong's command to defend your plays. S4 seems quite free here.
Sumail, he's not scared of anything. He's got Kai on sound.
Yeah, Sumail was trying to farm those ancients, but S4 is like, no, I want them. They're mine. What are you gonna do, Sumail? How are you gonna contest them? You can't.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Sumail,
attack.
by the way, in the last game, because I would say in the last game that he did play the carry axe, they did have a little bit of a better start than this. You know, it kills, whatever, kills mean nothing. But I did still feel like a little bit of a better start. Do you remember if you went first for the shard instead of Blink Dagger?
Yes, he went for the shard. Yes, but there was a reason for it, and it's actually similar to this game, we'll see. Because in that game, he was building up towards the Blink Dagger, then got killed right before, and he was down, he lost a fair amount of gold, and then needed to be in recovery mode for a while, which is why he went for the shard first. This game, we'll see. Maybe he doesn't consider like he's in recovery mode just yet. Maybe he thinks he has to fight with his team. Seb is committed to this outpost. Nico Baby also sends a skeleton army away. There's actually reinforcements coming the way of Alliance. A whole 4 smokes. Nico Baby's committed to taking the outpost back, and OG probably knows it's a trap.
Yeah, it kind of felt like they were setting a trap, but no, OG just really wanted the outpost there for a couple of seconds. And at least buys space, and it is a little bit of the bait, forcing those rotations, or I guess baiting those rotations as Sumail instead. They'll go ahead and push up towards top, but in the triangle. Trouble, it's going to be Thompson. He's going to be able to stay alive for now, and Arrow will hold down Lim, and Seb actually is going to leap in after this one. He's broken. He's got off the Wukong's command, as the Winter's Curse only catching on to Nico Baby. Thompson then leaping away, safe and sound, but Seb now back into his own arena is going to be killed off.
Alright, Thompson walks back in though. He's hoping to kill off S4 using his own form with a constant burning death. Nico Baby though, going on for Sumail. Does he have enough damage? Thompson wants to help him out. In fact, S4 almost dies there, but barely gets away. Here's Lim, come back with the avalanche toss combo, killing 2 cores at once. Alliance was just waiting for that combo to get back online so they could finally punish Sumail and Thompson. They almost did it, but the choice to go for S4, the only core that was really staying around, because of course Wraithking had Reincarnation, you're not going to go for him first. Okay. It was just tough. What do you kill? The Tiny's a bit too slippery. The Hoodwink and Scarlet Mage are nowhere to be seen. Timbersaul's too tanky, and Wraithking has 2 lives. It's honestly a loser's game no matter who you pick.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, and Alliance, of course, getting the kills. They're going to be super happy with that, but also just establishing control here in the enemy triangle. This is going to further delay Sumail's Blink Dagger, who was just about to finish it off, but now he's going to have to hit a couple more small camps before he gets the Blink Dagger online. He will be ready to go, though. It's literally just a couple of camps, a couple of waves here, and then I suspect OG are going to be looking to smoke around that big power spike, because it is going to be able to chop through just about anyone, especially with this Vessel on Sox. I think they shouldn't really have too many difficulties here. Second life of Wraith King aside, of course.
Well, that's the difficulty, though. Your lineup has a fair amount of burst in the Axe and the Morphling, and against the Wraith King, he's the king against these kind of strats. I mean, Nico, he's struggling against the illusions. We see it. You know, you're meant to burst on the Wraith King. But if there's a hero that's pretty good against the carry axe, it'd be him. Strength hero, so nice HP gain. Lives, so you can deal with a Monster Berserker's Call initial bout of damage. We'll see as OG seems to be preparing for the next fight here with a smoke.
See who they can find into the jungle or into the triangle. Goes Seb, leading up to another tree here. That's gonna break. Oh yeah, that's a kill onto FNG. Of course, just kind of throwing himself into the smoke gank, making sure that it's gate behind him. Or might be in trouble. Timber chain away before Seb.
Take the smoke though. I think that's fine. Honestly, I mean that smoke had to do so much because they had to regain high ground to be able to use it. Then you had to go and try to find the ideal kill. And like I said before, that's really Limp. I mean, you gotta kill Limp at the beginning of the fight. He is slippery. If obviously he's not the first target, but you should be able to murder him. He's not that tanky. And then you get rid of a big bout of burst damage that Alliance has.
We've been holding on to a couple of smokes here, by the way, for OG. Soxa just had 3. He's now down to 2. And they kind of need to use this period to kind of fight themselves back into this game. Of course, kills don't mean anything, but 7k net worth lead is a little bit troubling here for OG. Especially because a lot of this is going to be on the Wraith King, who now has got the S and Y on top of that Radiance. And he's big.
Yeah.
He's a shark.
Axe is gonna struggle to kill him twice. That's the goal. We have the full build now though for the Axe, so he's come online now. Perhaps he might wait for the BKB. That will nullify some of the impact by Alliance, but Wraith King's only gonna get fatter and fatter right now. In fact, you even might see Tiny start to transition into being more of a carry, right? Rather than just the burst damage. We saw Karas as the first step towards that, giving you that attack speed so you can actually hit. Now with the shard, this transition is a bit smoother, as you actually can become a nice late game carry by having the tree grab always available to you.
Is basically just building into anti-morphling. got now the Aether Lens, the Veil to amp his damage, and longer cast ranges, of course, and immediately into Aeon Disc. Just knows if he can just kind of distract this Morphin for a little bit in the fight and always have that kill threat over him, it's just something that we can't ignore.
Nico Baby has a haste rune. Feels invincible, but is he? No, he thought about it twice. There's that moment with the haste where you think, I can do anything, and then immediately, yep, he goes to play like this as 4. It's going to be bursted down. Now Sumail, having completed this build, does deal a fair amount of damage, and Timbersaw is no longer a big obstacle. Or
another
a tanky
smoke
obstacle.
play here. OG, blood in the water. They're going to go hunting for a shark now. A Seb into the triangle. Smoke will break, and they do have eyes on him. He's going to hop back down. The Radiance for Arrow is just going to miss FNG. Mystic Flare, good damage onto Seb. Silent Stump. He is going to get the Cold Embrace heal. That'll keep him alive for now. In fact, look at the healing. He is now going to get aided now by at least the Winter's Curse. And Sumail with a 2-man call. Underneath that tier 2 tower, Hanskin will fall. Nico Baby still having his novel level 3 reincarnate, but its Limp is the one in trouble now as the Axe Army slowly spinning in the deck.
Dire's middle tower
Aided by that Vessel, Limp continuing to try and run away. Thompson will wait for him after him. It's going to be Sumail with the dunk, securing the kill and ending a 6-time unstoppable streak here on Limp.
On point teamfight execution by OG. That was exactly what we were talking about, right? I mean, the difference is the freebie there, sure. But then afterwards, you being able to kill the Tiny first, that was the way you had to do it. You got to support that position. The Axe is not bothering or concerning himself with the Wraith Gang. On top of that, what actually saved the Monkey King there was the Holy Locket. Not forget that you actually used that teammates. And that extra bit of healing towards the end allowed Seb to stay alive. Really, really well played, that team fight on OG. This is what we saw, by the way, last game they played with the Axe Carry. This just a bit earlier, where team fights, they reach a point where they're chaotic, and OG just rubs their hand together, like, this is where we relish, this is where we were born, and the chaos is one of us. And Alliance needs to have to deal with this. Unfortunately, Quincy Crew could not do so, but Alliance may have a better plan. They have the heroes to do it, for sure.
Yeah, they gotta be, like, super certain that if we use Mystic Flare and the Ancient Seal on someone that's not the Morphling, that you do end up getting that kill. Because at least then it's like an even fight, right? Or at least it's a 5v4 in that sense. Because if you use that combo of spells and Morphling is not affected by this, he's just going all in. There's nothing really that he's too scared of this game. You know, Bushwhack is always a threat. Great Fire Blast, he can usually Manta dodge. And that's kind of about it. At this stage, he's too tanky for Limp to just solo burst.
Look out for fallen rock!
You see that again, right? There was the Mystic Flare used, as you mentioned, but immediately saved. And with that, once you got that Cold Embrace, you were lacking actually the magical damage. You already used all your burst. There was the Holy Locket I was talking about. The Radiance might have been able to sort of take him down with the Arcane Bolts, but the Holy Locket made sure that was impossible. Alliance, now they're rethinking their strats. They gotta find the solo kills, make it so these engagements are not as difficult, so it's not a full 5-on-5. But Seb, he actually got Bushwhack. There's the Mystic Flare. This time it is going to work, as the Sharpshooter was there to take off Seb's head. Sumail is the next target. He does use the Berserker Skull. Extra armor for now. They hit him with the arrow. Saksa protecting his king, and what a royal guard. Sumail will be able to get away thanks to Saksa's efforts. No till 2.
It almost blinked right on top of where Sumail was TPing away. That was a little close for comfort. He's not going to be able to find him. I'm sure Sumail saw the Radiance burn and maybe went a little monk ass, but he's all good to go. Top, and he's continue farming BOTs.
Dire's middle tower
is
under
he's
attack.
very, very fast.
Thank you for that top tier analysis. We got the Ethereum blade as well on the Morphling. So now we can say Morphling kind of came online, right? He went for like a stats build and then deviated into the shotgun a bit later. Gives you the viability of going for both, not immediately into the shotgun, which would have made you a bit too weak this game. I agree with his choice, but it stops him. So at some point he has to build a Ethereum blade. It's in his contract, right? So.
I believe it is. I believe it is. Speaking of, okay, Saksa though, he's going to get hit by the silence and cut down rather quickly. Nico Baby very eagerly getting right into the face of the Morocco. Great Fire Blast, and he's going to be able to do that a little bit more effectively as he's just about to finish off this overwhelming blink, then into the eye of Scotty. Go Baby Wraith King.
Okay. Well, overwhelming blink first. We've seen this before from... Was it Nico Baby that we were casting this as well, where he actually kind of rushed the overwhelming blink to a degree?
Yeah, I believe it is.
So what's the idea here? Cancels Blink Daggers and Axe, stops Primal Spring, so that's pretty useful. A bit more magical damage, I guess, on the Winter Skirt or the Cold Embrace. So if you still have it off cooldown by some miracle, you will be able to burst down someone that's been saved. That could be a potential. Also better farming.
Yeah, it's good versus these illusions of Axe as well, because it basically, you know, removes that attack speed bonus you do get from the counter helix. And other than the Manta style, you don't really build too many attack speed items on a Kitty Axe. So that is going to be a little bit of a large DPS, a little bit of a large. It is a pretty minus DPS here. Nico Baby. Oh, there's the blink right into the face of Seb. As how in they go for this team fight. They've already gotten rid of No Tail, so there's no Winter's Curse available. Nico Baby in a bit of trouble. Sumail just running him down as Seb and Thompson both looking to try and get Askin. They have cut down the tree of Seb though, stunned for a couple of seconds as he now will look to rejoin the fight. Thompson in the Timbersaw form, diving underneath the tier 2 tower, will lose the Aegis. The rest of Alliance look to set up around him for the second line.
Bushwhack misses, but they do have the toss to continue with the Wraithfire blast. Thompson is full strength though. How are you going to bring him down? 2k HP left. Alliance has to give up on Thompson, but they might still be able to find some stragglers. Let's see. Oh, never mind. They go for Thompson again. He took a different path. Thompson perhaps a bit too cocky. Well, they justified as actually going back in. Thompson was just baiting. Sumail's going for the squirrel. Goodbye to FNG. With the E-Blade, Nico Baby, how are they going to hit anything here? S4 or Nico Baby, they're going to go with a man against the man with only one life. But they don't want to get out of this Wukong's command. They're going to be re-engaging yet again. The arrow misses. Want to kill Sam. Actually toss it forward. Says, I'll deal with Sam. You go for the Marana, and Sam is already dead. Limp, acknowledging he's strong enough to finish up the monkey, and Saxa will die to Hanskin. Alliance end up turning the turn of the team fight.
Yep. Tide has been turned quite easily there over for the likes of Alliance. I think it ends up here in their favor. Yeah, 4 dead for OG. The fact that they're able to dispatch of No Tail with Aegis as well. Yeah, yeah.
Well, no, it's just Aegis on Morph. It wasn't a death, that's what I'm saying. It's 3 dead plus Aegis.
Good point.
Technically.
Good point. 3 dead plus Aegis. I mean, it's huge though. It's so big that they're able to get rid of No Tail immediately in that fight, because then there's no concerns whether or not they group up anymore. You're not really that scared of them after that. Ends up biting them a bit in the butt, because Sumail, it does, you know, much like ILTW did yesterday. Oh, they actually are able to catch Thompson. Saved a bit though. The magic damage is not enough. There's so much healing right now onto the full flame, but not enough at the end of the day. Limp is going to be able to right-click through him as soon as he pops out of that cold embrace. Nico Baby might consider going up high ground, but can't. Now that the Arctic Burn with that Blink Dagger on cooldown.
I have liked that the overall Blink pickup though. He's able to just chase after the supports really easily. An issue with the extra amount of damage, of course, it's boosted by the Ancient Seal Veil Discord. It's been good here for Nico Baby, and the extra tankiness is definitely welcome. And they can go for some towers, using the Assault Harass, of course, to their advantage. Another one in Blink, hoping to burst on the Marana. They use the Mystic Flare, everything in their power. Yule's into the spell of silence. She's to leave away Saxa to hit her with Spell Vessel. She's down. They lost Saxa, but in exchange, OG might to take down Limp. They're chasing after him. Big Gibby as an active him, really wants his kill, but Limp, he's only getting about 7 jumps from top. That's gonna guarantee it. As Seb sets up the Wukong's command, doesn't want S4 chasing after, but S4 still wants to kill Sumail. Who's going to protect him this time? Nico Baby so close to dying, but he's still in second life anyway. Sumail gets a bit back thanks to the boots of travel, so Nico Baby will have to settle for No Tail. As Sam has been left behind, Alliance is now starting to sandwich him. They all go against Sam, who gets healed by the Golden Grace. No Tail will have to pay for these sticks. And No Tail's down for the count. That's the bad guy, but still, going for Sam, guaranteeing the kill of the Monkey King after Squirrel dies. The Wolfling creatures are falling, and now it's only the big beefy boys fighting it out. They don't want to continue. Alliance is done with all this bloodlust, but OG is not done yet, and they go for X4. What chaos is, he still has the Timber Chain, but so does Thompson, and the shotgun on top of that Lotus Orb, so he won't be slowed. Instead, Nico Baby, actually from behind, he saw the Marana, won the Marana, but instead he's only going to find his old death. Nico Baby, the greed.
I feel better already.
An extremely greedy play by him, and he didn't even get the support as a result.
Yeah, that was a bit brutal. Could that got from No Tail in the middle of that really long to make sure that he's able to at least bait them out a little bit longer. Sumail just looking to drag people back in. I mean, that fight started off, I mean, there's so many things to recount. Limp really making the Tiny look just super broken as well, able to blink in and just kidnap Sumail, who has got to use BKB super early on just to get back onto his own high ground. Oh, it's a close one. You can't just get into the fountain of OG that easily. You know, they're the ones that usually want to go swimming first.
What I'm kind of loving about these fights is that, honestly, I can't really tell who's winning them, and I think neither of the teams can either, because they keep baiting each other, and sometimes I'm questioning if they're baiting themselves to a degree. I mean, I think the end Nikolay was a bit too much, but all these plays that Alliance is making, like, it's this philosophy that Alliance has been taking that allowed them to get all these sneaky kills out of it. So even though maybe that play was a bit too far, I don't disagree with the idea behind it, which is let's keep trying to get these sneaky kills where OG least expects it. We have insane pickoff potential, but in 5-on-5 we're a bit weaker. So the best advantage, the best way to use this is to use OG's chaos against them.
Yeah, I thought I juked myself out there for a second. Seb had an item on the core I didn't see. It's the Hamel of the Iron Will, and I thought he just had queued up a Divine Rapier casually. I was like, Seb, not like this. Go Satanic first.
Yeah, it's Nullifier this time because he saw the Aeon Disc. He's not going to let that happen again. I think the Aeon Disc was a good pickup. Oh, the smoke. This is somewhat of a bait. Sumail actually blocks in. He's going to lick himself. And Sumail will go to last this. He has a BKB. In fact, they're going for the Wraithing first. It's difficult though, Nico. He's still the second life. Winter Scriptures in the fight. Actually, great perhaps. OG, they have the lowdown right now. They need to recover the high ground if they really want to fight this appropriately. Thompson turning into the Wraithing. Got the crit out of it. And actually, they're going to kill Nico with the illusions. Not going for Link. Make the flare though. It's first enough to nail. Wasn't expecting that amount of damage. Golden Breaks at least huge. Saving Thompson. He has been silenced though, but he is full strength already. Nico Baby somehow still alive. He hasn't even lost his first life. Instead, it's Mortal Thompson trying to get away. Even with full strength, he doesn't have the resilience to tank all of Alliance's damage, and they'll lose 2 here. OG thinking they could do it, but unable to bring down the Wraithing even once.
Yeah, he ends up getting level 25, I want to say halfway into that fight. So he's got that Mortal Strike cooldown, which of course is going to be a huge amount of lifesteal for him every single 2 seconds. On top of this Eye of Scotty in the middle of that fight, making this a really, really difficult engagement for OG, because as soon as they go in, they're kind of just committed, whether they like it or not. So it's going to be second Roshan of the game, Aegis Cheese, and that Aghanim Shard. They do at least be able to find the core of Nico Baby in the secret shop. So it's not going to do much to stop them from completing Roshan.
Look out for fallen
Like this strat Alliance realized that the true weakness that OG has is the reincarnation. So like, why don't we just give it to a second hero? And then that way, 2 heroes are unkillable. Literally 1,000 IQ plays here. They also got shard out of it. So
Radiant's
nice.
top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
So I think the reason Sumail ends up not having Manta Style there was because he's got Flicker, so he's depending on being able to use Flicker to make sure he can get out of, hold on, S4, Aeon Disc, of course, being dispelled by that Nullifier. Oh baby, he's immediately on a no-tail. I want to stop this curse from coming through, but they've got 4-stab Sharpshooter just barely out of reach here. They drag back Nico Baby just barely. He's going to pop this Minotaur Horn though, just forced to escape back down to the low ground. The rest of his team is here to support him.
Alliance biding their time. They know that there's no need to rush this. They'll just wait it out. But OG, because of the axe, they also have some pretty solid lane clear here. And some good high ground defense. Mind you, we haven't been able to see it because Nico Baby, as soon as he sees the high ground, he's like, oh, I have to jump this. Oh, and he just blinks right forward, trying to kill one of the supports here. Oh, we're gonna see the blink. There's the sharpshooter that Richie was just barely.
Clip the wing. Luckily, it's a wyvern, not a dragon from Game of Thrones, so it doesn't go down instantly.
That's true. Good thing for No-Tail, because if they lost the Winter Wyvern there, they would have been without any counter initiation options, and that'd be a real pickle for OG right now.
They're just not really that scared though of the rest of the counter initiation. Like Seb is mean and he's tanky for sure, and if he's allowed to, does a lot of damage. But the burst that they have, they can pretty easily get through him.
They figured out the quick blink as the shard now.
This'll come in handy.
Yeah, honestly, pretty good shard though. It's the only issue, of course, is that you need to you can control the illusion. You need to be quite clever with it, but I think it's quite a good shard. If it wasn't for the long cooldown, I think it'd be better. But it's 1,400 gold, so what? Are you gonna give it another OP ability?
Dire structures are fortified.
KBs will be able to escape. That's also going to give the early warning system for Thompson to go ahead and back away, as he was also farming nearby. S4 though, closing the map across the cap rather across the map rather quickly with that 25. Thompson is going to try and fight him. He's got some mail here, so it's a bit of a bait. Aeon Disc is out. Do not have the Oh, the nullifier that they need. FNG, though, on the other side of the map.
Dire's bottom
Lions
tower
are still
is
looking to
under
poke and
attack.
prod in the face. They're losing.
Dire's
OG
bottom
are losing,
tower
actually.
is down.
Soxa in trouble, saved momentarily by the stun, but he leaps down to the low ground and is
Radiant's
picked off by
top barracks
FNG.
are
There's a
under
dunk
attack.
at least onto S4, who does not have buyback. We gotta get back and defend these barracks.
S4, you had to die for this as Alliance. They're taking the racks.
Respawn.
Your death was worth it. Don't worry,
Radiant's
brother.
middle
Oh
tower
no,
is under
the
attack.
Tiny got caught out with a Berserker's Call. But Nico Baby actually wants to fight this. You don't need S4. Nico Baby alone can do this. They hit him with a nullifier. Or no, actually, he avoided it. Never mind, because he was invisible in time. It's a male. There's still the Ray Fire Blast. Nico Baby's not leaving your base, it seems like. Nico Baby's confused. He thinks this is his base
Radiant's
now.
middle tower is under
He's going for
attack.
Thompson. This time the nullifier will hit. As Thompson desperately tried to murder the squirrel. Unsuccessfully, though. We still have cheese on Nico
Radiant's
Baby, so I
middle
think he's
tower
gonna fine,
is
but you might realize that without a Timber Saw, there's just no need to play this aggressive.
Classic S4 play, distracting enemies so that your team can take base. It's gonna work out pretty nicely as they are able to secure the entire top lane of barracks. Wow, already Octarine core. See here. Oh, this fight started off. Shooter. Oh wow, they just completely assassinated No-Tail. Didn't even see it coming.
That was a very dramatic death with the slow motion as well. That looked like Game of Thrones there for a second. Thompson gets it, Lucian he's cleaning it out, of course he is! Nico Baby really wanted their illusion room, but will that be punished? We'll see. Nico Baby still has a second life, and the cheese. He forced to use it relatively early, as comes back in there, the cheese, and Thompson! And Thompson will fall! Winter's Curse though, reset the fight, but without Thompson, are you gonna have enough damage? The explosions are hitting, they're spinning as well, and they want the tank, they will take it! As from behind, Monkey King sets up the Wukong's command. Sam, how are you gonna survive this? You maybe will go to break the force that we're talking about. It's gonna work out. It's gonna save Sam. Nico Baby still has the second life though, and Sam will regardless fall. Liv came back into this and died. That is not what he was looking for there. Barely got away with his life earlier, and now just sacrificing it. That be good for Sumail. We'll see in a second. As S4 is trying his best to kill off his act. We need some sort of stun. FNG, where's your push right now? Using the sharpshooter in desperation. But that's not going to stop that TP. Nico Baby instead fighting the poor little Morphling, stunning on Thompson. Thompson has been hexed and they want some roasted pig for dinner. The question is, will they get the Thunder helping him out with the Roach Fire Blast? It's filling the kill. Alliance not leaving any survivors. That's a die back for Thompson.
Yeah, it is. Hanskin, he dies back for that, but he does so much damage in this fight. He ends up getting the kill credit for the death on the Seb. And now, I mean, you've got buyback on Seb. Soxa's back in 9, but Morphling is the bulk of your damage here. Morphling's been able to distract him long enough. And Nico Baby, there's blood in the water, immediately diving tier 4 is onto Sumail. Gets Grace now, at least by No-Tail. Make sure he's healed for plenty. As forward, we're chaining away. Sumail not looking to display. Nico Baby here, a little bit with that call. Nico Baby taking a bit of damage. And Seb is going to be able to set up the Wukong's command around him. Nico Baby, though, right back in on the No-Tail, trying to at least get rid of these backline supports. S4 hit with nullifier. As the dunk didn't go through out from Sumail, he tried, but there's too much HP for Nico Baby. He's not even dead yet. Life stealing even more off Seb. As the stun will connect, he'll finally end up losing that first life.
Radiant's
That's a
bottom
buyback
barracks
now on Seb.
Oh, you're gonna defend this now?
Radiant's
It's Axe versus the world with the help of a Marauder.
Radiant's
Sox has done so much before, but no! Sox wanted to get a chance to help you. He has to leave the safety instead of going for Sumail. Sox has already been perfect. It's one of the last one. It's going to be for Axe, but 3 top charges. Sumail won't last this. The buybacks come out, but Alliance, they're now running rampant at the OG base. OG has 2 people to defend this again. But this time they only have a single life. That better be a valuable one.
Radiant's
doing his best. He did it yesterday versus Enigma, just trying to get the enemies to dive a little bit too far, but Alliance won't see onto the building. Tier 4 is down. There's the jump back in. No-Tail stun for a second. Chopper is out and already killed off by the tree. It's going to be No-Tail. Sumail now right back on in as they toss him up and down and up again. That time they got an illusion, but it's not going to matter. Zone is down. It's going to be Alliance taking game 1 over OG.
What an impressive performance. Oh, FJG's happy. She's very happy. What an impressive performance by Alliance, honestly. I don't think OG. I think OG played a really good game. I think their draft was really solid. Yeah, there were a couple of haphazard plays, maybe into the mid game, but it was just Alliance. It was just Alliance doing so well. well. OG identified the issue halfway through the game. They started killing the Tiny. They actually used their power spikes really well. And the only issue they had was that they were not up against the ideal draft for an Axe carry. I think the Wraith King showed. He just became unkillable at a certain point, and
And just a lot of magical damage against a Cold Embrace. You can area control so that even if you save someone, they sort of just get saved into egg.
I think it's good against the Max too, for the same reasons that you said that it's good against the Winter Wyvern. Like, you RP and you pop the egg, and it's like the question is like, do you want to fight into that or not? If you're Alliance, it forces a decision, which is kind of annoying. Like, Magnus, you want to RP and just all in on that whoever you hit, right?
For sure. I think historically that's sort of been Phoenix's niche. Like, we saw even at the 2017 Kiev Major, we'd have VP versus OG, and VP would pick Warlock, and OG would always just instantly pick this Phoenix, because if the enemy team is trying to build any sort of teamfight lineup, and you have slightly better teamfight, the lineup doesn't work.
Yeah,
fundamentally it's just counter.
Yeah, the game it just ends because you can never fight, and that's the only thing that you can do if you mass team fight.
How did you feel about the Skywrath as a counter to Cold Embrace? Was it relevant at all in the last game, or not really?
I think not against Cold Embrace, but it looked really good otherwise. I didn't really see him ulti Cold Embrace.
Yeah,
maybe like 1 second.
Well, it was like, yeah, there's like
couple
once.
times.
It's pretty good. It's like, I think the reason we didn't see it a lot is because he couldn't Cold Embrace. Like, he couldn't Cold Embrace pre-Force Staff against the Sky ult, because it's like, oh, I'm just gonna kill this guy if I Cold Embrace him. But even just with the Tiny, the amplified damage as well as the toss into the Skywrath Mage combo was enough to kill, like, insta-kill Sumail a few times.
I also really liked his Veil pickup. It's multiplicative, and usually that's diminishing returns, but if you pass the threshold of like 100%, you're actually getting extra value. Scar Silence plus Veil will do, like, the Veil will give more than 18%. Probably gives, I mean, it'll only give like 20%, but it's nice.
And for a bursty lineup like they had with the Tiny, that can make all the difference.
And Veil amplifies Tree Toss.
Does it really?
Because it's a spell.
Because it's a spell.
And Limp was really good at tossing it at a creep beside the heroes. Oh, so I'm doing that. So it's 150% times the Veil. Quick math, Jenkins? 177.
What?
Thank you.
Okay, wait, so explain this, because Lacoste was also lecturing about this during the Southeast Asian DPC. Why should mid-Tinies toss the tree at a creep and not at the hero when they're trying to harass?
Does more damage.
I don't think it does.
It does more damage.
See? These Jenkins-ass players.
No, I'm pretty sure I was right about the Mars thing.
You were right about the Mars thing.
I'm pretty sure it just does more damage when you toss it to everything.
No, it's 100 on the main target, 150% on the other stuff. Correct.
How much you want to bet?
I will bet 1 slap on Tsunami.
What the
I will bet 2 slaps on Tsunami.
Agreed.
I don't agree to this!
Back to the draft?
Back to the draft.
Back to the Tsunami?
I'm looking it up, but I don't want either of you to win.
Alliance's turn to pick.
So I pick up the Mirana. This is the Phoenix answer to some degree. It's not bad with the Magnus, honestly. These, like, big setups, Winter's Curse plus the RP into Arrow, it's really not bad for those solo pickoffs. Even though you're committing like a huge ulti, it's still some setup for the Mirana Arrow. You're always going to get a 5-second.
Also, I think Moonlight Shadow's underrated. It's basically a free smoke, so you can get in there with the RP.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
So they pick up the Omnite. That's like classic counter to Magnus.
Okay, read this tooltip for me.
You can't read. You have to
Throws the tree at the unit. Splash damage 150%.
And proccing your attack on it.
And splashing around.
Yeah, so that means that... Ow! What the f...
So Omnite's a classic counter to Magnus. You have Guardian Angel, which is clearly good versus the physical damage from Empower, but you also have I wanted to say Cleanse, but Kyle said I want to say something else.
Don't you dare use that
a strong Dispel.
Thank you.
For the Magnus RP, and also you can just what's that spell even called?
I don't even know.
W spell, Repel, Heavenly Grace.
No, nobody plays Omni, so like
I don't know what the spells are called.
Yeah, it's
spelled Heavenly Grace. It's a strong spell, provides strength on the target, and status resistance?
Yeah, status resistance.
Okay, then.
Yeah, Gods had an interesting argument behind why the big millionaire BTS owner Gods he had an interesting argument behind why this new Heavenly Grace is worse, and he said magic or spell immunity is just 100% status resistance, which is true, but with status resistance you can bait people. And also, it works against these.
Does anyone think that Repel is worse than Heavenly Grace? I think it's near unanimous.
No, I don't think so.
When Omnite was first pick, it was because Heavenly Grace was much better.
Yeah, well, they added the strength component.
Also, Repel used to be like purgeable. So
yeah,
that
is true. Hey, there's a purging guy.
That was even older. Okay, well, here's a strength hero that you can synergize with the bonus strength from Heavenly Grace. It's Sven.
And a strength hero on the other side to purge out. You can still purge the Omni ulti, right? I don't know. This hero
you can.
You can. Guardian Angel. Middle
remaining.
Yeah, the little satyr is super legit on Doom. It makes it counter a lot of heroes that it otherwise shouldn't.
Traditionally, I think Wyvern's supposed to be really good against Sven. But with Bushwhack Phoenix, I don't think this is the case. If you Cold Embrace, even one of your tanky dudes, he might just die. Like, if they get to a Spirit Vessel on one of their heroes, you get the Phoenix Ray, a Spirit Vessel on him, plus the Sharpshooter, that hero's just dead in Cold Embrace.
Yeah, that's true.
Sven is a very scary hero when he can buy stuff like SNY and have stats resistance from Heavenly Grace and just always move forward into fights.
Yeah, it's a good counter to these big team fight wombos. Like, you know, we talked about how status resistance is kind of like a worse spell immunity, but in this case, when you have these BKB piercing things such as Doom, such as Magnus RP, such as Winter's Curse, it's way better. Like, Sven is never going to be stunned, so it's good for Alliance that they have like 3 of them to layer on there. Although I think you just Doom the Omni here. I would imagine that's the
ideally, yeah. It is a lot easier to not get doomed than Omni Knight. His Guardian Angel is just such a long range now, right?
Yeah.
Before, I think it used to be 700 AoE. I believe it's 1200 now or 1300.
Yeah,
something really far.
When they changed all of the aura items to be larger, they changed the AoE of that too.
So you can sort of like preemptively put a Heavenly Grace and just try to hide, because you know there's some sort of hide and seek game between you and Doom, where he wants to Doom you and you want to like just hide and wait him out.
Imagine he'll probably pick up a fairly early Lotus Orb on Omni Knight just to counteract that Doom.
So it is an offline Omni Knight, right?
We don't know yet.
We don't know.
Hard to say, yeah.
Okay, so it could be 4 position, it could be
5 even.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
5 Omni. I mean, that was I think last time it was picked, it was being picked as a 5. There's There's like the meme build with that the Ag Shard hammer.
As 5?
As 5?
No, not as a 5. No, I'm saying as a core. But that was more of like a very brief pub thing. But when it was picked in competitive before, it was kind of just like having this status resistance and purge or dispel on a 5 position seems inherently good if you have some hero that's actually worth giving status resistance to, such as a Sven.
I think generally it's picked as a 1 or a 3. I think, as a 5 or a 3.
Yep.
I think Zai picked also against Magnus on Secret, and then I can't remember who picked it as 5, but it actually looked decent.
The thing is, then your lane as a 5 would be Sven Omni Knight against some ranged hero.
Maybe like Mag Potom, probably.
It's it's Magnus though, and Magnus is not the best lane winning hero, and Omni 5 is surprisingly decent at winning.
I think he has 4 armor, pretty high base damage, decent
move speed.
Purification's easily one of the best trade spells if you hit on them, right? It's just heal plus pure damage.
Yep, you pick up an early Orb of Venom, punch people real hard.
I think it is going to be 5 Omni Knight. It might be 4 Omni Knight and they put the Phoenix up there, but I would actually prefer it to be a 5.
Omni's eventually going to become the 5, almost no matter what.
Exactly, yeah.
Even as an offlaner this year.
And you do want items on Phoenix. Like, this is such a high-impact Phoenix game.
Yep.
If he has, like, the Shard, you know, if he can even get to some Shivas or any items, really, the gold is just really high impact on Phoenix.
Yeah, because, like, the Phoenix disengage in the team fights, even Doom is, like, wants to commit and run at people. If you can just egg on his Doom, it feels really bad. The only hero that's really good against the Phoenix is Mirana, but you know, it's a support hero, and you're building into like vessels and items like that. You're not particularly good with Tranquil Boots at killing an egg.
Yeah, and Mirana's gotten some attack speed nerfs over the patches. Also, they made Phoenix's egg 6 hits instead of 5. Like, when it's 5, Mirana support really countered her. But even back then, it was really the Mirana cores that countered Phoenix.
Let's confirm what these lane was. Lifestealer indeed. It's going to be Seb on the Sand King, No Tail 5 position, Omni Knight, and Hoodwink is being played mid by Thompson. And Alliance last pick, Lifestealer. I imagine there's going to be a lot of contention in the triangles this game, because Alliance is going to be like, well, Sven is basically your only core. Sand King and Hoodwink are mainly just utility.
I'm going to make a call here.
Let's hear it.
This Lifestealer, I was Sven in a pub, and I was 1 in 17.
By the way, it's Limp on Magnus. Mid-mag.
Oh, okay.
Doom.
Offline Doom. Cool.
Okay,
but Lifestealer beats Sven in a 1v1. I popped all my stuff. He popped all his stuff, and I fought him to the death, and he killed me. And then I saw D2 Bowie posted a Twitter video, and he's like, "Which one wins?" And I was like, "I know this because I just fed 1 in 17 to this. I had the same items. Lifestealer wins with this late game shard.
And he has Empower.
And Empower.
But
yeah,
he does not. But Sven has an Omni Knight.
That is true.
It is a battle of the buff boys in this game today, boys.
Which one are you favoring?
I'm gonna go with the Lifestealer, just because I was on the other end of that, and it wasn't very fun for me.
Going 1 in 17?
Yeah.
Curtis, how about you?
I think it's a pretty good Lifestealer game. I'd like to see OG win so we can get a nice game 3.
Sure.
So I'll just pick them.
For the grudge match sake, I'm also hoping for a 3-game series. Who knows if it's a possibility? But I want to hear the cast by Seek and Strike and Avo Plus.
Hello guys, and welcome back. Thank you, Tsunami. And quite the risky move there by Jenkins, you know, he's casting alliance match. He's talking about his pubs, I don't know. Anyway, let's see what this game is going to show, because we have some quite nice strategies here. Particularly something we actually used to cast a bunch. This the 4 Zoomer strat of the Omni Sven. They used to run this so much, they used to ban Omni first ban every single time against them. And now it's OG Bring It. Learning from NA. Oh, the memes are getting livelier and livelier.
I can't believe it. I mean, NA's already out of the tournament. What are they going on? But you're completely right. The Sven Omni, it's only second best. It's the second best Omni combo, Omni combo. Because the best one is hands down, it's going to be that mid lane Huskar. No one else uses strength as good as Huskar, but Sven is a damn good close second. And because Sven usually just gets kited around the entire game, ideally is how you want to play around a Sven, that status is absolutely huge. This game though, Yule Scepter, we do have a natural Yule's builder, which of course is going to be one of the better counters. You know, Sven overall, and that's going to be in the Marana. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that item is going to be.
30 seconds to battle.
An awesome game last time on the Skywrath Mage, and I'm looking forward to the impact.
Well, me too. It's going to be certainly an exciting matchup. Another good combo, actually, they feature. If you're one of the old people like myself, that lane combo that you used to hate the lane against back in Dota 1 and the early stages of Dota 2, which was the Omnight Sanking. It's not the lane combo this time, but you still have the little Purification burst, like a little burst, which actually pretty good dealing with Winter Wyvern in the Cold Embrace early. Might be part of the reason why the Sanking also got picked, a little extra buff there. Oh, let's see. Sumail suffering a fair amount. Purification already used. There's the arrow. Sumail just wanting to get back home, but Limp is not going to let him fly. Given to Alliance's mid laner, already starting with right foot.
Yeah, it's going to be really nice as well. That should be, pretty early on into this bottle. You know, you're going to be taking a lot of damage out from the Squirrel here in the mid lane versus Thompson. Not much you could really do about it other than just take up my plenty of regen and just, you know, in the late game, channel all that Wrath and RP the Squirrel later on, and just about one tapper pretty going on here. FNG, he's going to be able to get away. No Tail is just as much.
Yeah, we've seen this, right? Usually when Thompson plays the Squirrel mid, you need something to just be able to hunt her relatively easily, because otherwise, I mean, we saw this in the Quincy Crew game, you need to organize your whole hunting squad. You don't have dog, you can't really smell her out, it's so difficult to find her between the trees, it's tough. And Thompson always makes you lose time with that. Even if he loses net worth, it's okay, because he recovers nicely, has such good lane clear, and even can go for some dangerous farm by doing that. So it's a great way of opening the map that OG has abused a lot this tournament.
Yep, we go through trees pretty nicely at the very least for Alliance. We don't have like a bespoke, you know, tree killer or like anyone. Basically, the way you think about it is.
Call him?
No, no Timber this game, unfortunately for Alliance, right? So that's going to be a little bit of a difficulty when it comes to hunting down Thompson, because guaranteed win or lose, you know, whether he needs to create space just to buy time for Sumail to get his item, or if he just wants to farm, he's going to be split pushing these like big one of the.
Healing shot.
That's true. The counter I like the most against the Hoodwink in general is a very easy kill against her is the Ember. Actually, really solid at doing that. Or any of the spirits actually, particularly Ember and Storm really stand out at being able to break it. As you said, I think there's ways in this game for sure. You can even Doom her as well. That's another way to just getting rid of that. And something the panel did not mention, but also very true, is the Doom also brings a basic dispel. So anything that Guardian Angel actually is going to save, you just Doom that target, and that target is dead to rights.
Very true. As for eating a stun out from Sumail is going to be fine. Scorched Earth and yeah, no, that's a good point. It is going to be a great game to get this Purge creep operational, though. Yet again, it's just something super annoying. Even if you just hit it onto Sumail, just to slow down a little around.
Gets rid of the Scurry, of course, gets rid of the Warcry. Like, there's so many useful things to be purging off. You can even use it defensively against the Spirit. It's okay. S4. The Heavenly Grace, unfortunately, all you can do is hit more, but S4, as long as he backs out, he should be fine most of the time. Not too dangerous. I don't think he's going to die at all this lane. He has some really nice early armor, and even went for the double gauntlets early to deal.
It's plenty of damage, though, that they can pump out here, so Gotta be a little bit careful. He's still got stick charges there now, popping them. Sumail, he knows, you know, like Aoi said, he knows when he's strong. He knows when he can cure his own farm. And for the most part, with the Omni Knight in the lane with you, it's definitely.
We're seeing Lip kind of leaving the lane of Thompson. I mean, not very surprising as a Magnus. If you can afford to go jungle and there's not too much loss there, you might as well. The creep wave is near the tower anyway. Thompson does offer a lot of harassment. And I mean, Thompson destroyed a Bat Rider mid, so if you're going to be able to beat that matchup with Hoodwink, I think the Magnus certainly is going to suffer. There's not many chances of you being able to shockwave skewer her into the tower.
Healing and harm!
Go for the shockwave flip. Yeah, I think it's a good response by Limp, just to not really worry about it too much. You know, you're not laning versus someone like Vlad. You're not like a DPC. Okay, you can afford to just farm waves in between. Maybe the creep wave gets pushed, but you come back and you right back in. You're all good to go.
That's a good arrow. Can they turn it into a kill? No till? That's the base armor the panel was talking about. Tanking those Mirana hits pretty nicely, but the lead Hanskin's gonna make this. The Heavenly Grace to heal him a bit, but it's only a little bit of a regen. It's not gonna do enough, even with the extra strength. The poor Omnight will fall there.
Nowhere you can really go. Alliance, by the way, starting off this game with 2 Blightstones on each of their supports. I assume one of these is eventually going to get turned to a medallion into Solar Crest here for Nico Baby. But they really do value just being able to harass these low armor supports. Phoenix especially here going to suffer to the Wyvern in the lane.
Nico Baby. Okay, the stun for the Centaur. The neutral creeps are allying. Today they really hate offlaners, huh? They're just attacking whatever they see that's a 3. Seb suffering much like Lelis. Yeah, he's not going to die. Lifestealer doesn't have enough damage just yet. He did go for the pointed rage just to be able to survive that lane. As S4 and Hanskin, I mean, are you really trying to accomplish anything in this lane but getting the basic farm on Doom? I don't think you can get close to them at all, really. I think there's much more opportunities of you doing something bottom, really, with Lifestealer and the Winter Wyvern at this point.
Yeah, I think Hanskin's probably going to look to maybe throw an arrow top and then rotate mid lane. But we can see Thompson and Limp alike are very keen to just, you know, let the melee creeps do their thing in the lane, farm a small camp in between, make sure that they're taking any power damage here too early. It's already super tanky here. Yeah, 1200, 1300 HP with the power. Go.
Yeah, the Magnus is not going to get killed. In fact, I don't think Alliance needs to get too many, any kills really out of these lanes. As long as you stabilize, due to the power of the Empower. Sorry about that. You're going to be able to easily recover regardless. And OG, I mean, the difficulty is OG is a good ganking squad to deal with you in the game. With the Hoodwink sanking, I think most things will die to that. Especially if the Omni has a couple points of purification to add to that.
That's a good point. Lots of DOT, some good slows as well that you can be using to make sure you can secure these kills. Hopefully they're able to give a little bit of farming time to Saksa this. Because kind of picking up on what Aoi was saying, there's a lot of items you can do kind of really contra as a Phoenix. Because not only do you really contra the Wyvern, but you also really get this Magnus quite easily. There's only a couple of egg hitters you're super turned with. You know, this is one of those games, Lifestealer especially, yeah. But we've got ways to protect you as well here. But like I said this earlier today, and we don't really see this much in shorter games, or at least first or second item. Most of the prevalence of Holy Locket. But seeing something like a refresher on this Phoenix, I think, that still have decent value if it's just such an expensive.
Yeah, you like seeing the rush on the refresher, and I don't disagree with that idea. I mean, the whole Locket seems just such good value this game because you combine that with the Omni Knight and you just get an insane amount of healing. Of course, Heavenly Grace actually boosts up that healing, as we mentioned, because of the extra strength. So I can see you go for just easier items than the insane double refresher. But hey, we've been seeing a lot of Nyx rushing Ags, so it's not out of the question here. Seb? In the bottom lane, the Soul Ring and the Power Strike, so you should be fine. Unless, okay, Seb, stay in the Power Strike to the last second there, and only level 1, not going to get too far off, but just enough as Saksa trying to play against his counterpart, his icy counterpart, and kicking him out there.
Yeah, if we look over like at something that Nico Baby was going to end up building, Mike decides to go into like armlets, whatever the heck he kind of feels like. But basically, the Omelette Sanj, the most important part there, because already, I mean, he gets popped into a cold embrace. Whether or not FNG has the Holy Locket, it's still going to be amping up his heal in that cold embrace by just so much. Like, I could really see some damage issues
Invisibility
if we do get these items online for FNG and Nico Baby respectively. Because really the only damage they have here to set up for is going to be the magic damage coming from an Epi, a Phoenix Supernova Sunray, and Hoodwink.
I mean, at some point the Sven will come online. That's when the damage issues start happening. In the early levels, Golf Check might just not be enough. Limp. Oh, actually skewers a score into an arrow. Skin jumping around like a frog. And Thompson will fall. Limp. Nicely played there. Really wanted to get rid of Thompson as Nico Baby. Want to get that kill on Seb. He didn't come in the dust for that, but maybe it was just to harass him a bit. Very tired of those constant sandstorms.
Sumail already into the jungle here, as the top lane has broken down a bit. He doesn't really want to lane versus this Doom anymore, especially with the ice armor, as we can chase No Tail around the tower a little bit. No Tail, it's not too
Dire's structures are fortified.
Not bad, that was just a replay, sorry. Not only do I sound like Suns fan, I also get baited just too. No Tail can slowly de-push these waves here, make sure that they're not going to be able to too early, as well as gain a bit of attack speed.
Radiant's bottom tower.
That's true. I mean, that kill was very valuable. So I see why you got the replay going. Being able to stop Hoodwink from being too impactful early is something the other teams have managed. And the issue was that the lanes weren't as easy. This time the lane seems a bit easier for Link. We're going to go for the Omni in the top lane. Oh, Omni hates the Doom and his arch nemesis. He's the founder of the Holy Light, you know, he's a soldier of righteousness, and then Doom comes by, takes away all your spells, puts a pentagram under you, he's just scared, he's constantly running away because of it. Fortunate.
Seb will actually TP up here to defend the tower, so we'll leave FNG down bottom all alone. He's going to be able to couple the waves here. 3 points in the Slither class, we've got plenty of fluid available on this Wyvern alone.
Taking Sumail for a ride. They don't have the Purge though, unfortunately, so they're thinking twice about a double damage rune. You know, if Sven is glowing any kind of color, red, blue, he can get close to him.
Oh, it's blue and red together. And, still with the Massive Madness available, I don't think the tower's very long in this world, especially with the wagon now coming.
Yeah, and I mean, they took advantage of this time to at least take the stack, so I mean, the Sven won't be able to take him, so that's a way to utilize this time if you think you can't defend this tower, but it is still a loss in map control. However, this means the stacks can't be stolen, and it was well spread between Nico Baby and Limp. Limp getting the better part of it, it seems.
Baby, he's going to be able to recover pretty quickly here and look to close the gap to Sumail just a little bit with the 40% cleave that he's getting. It's max cleave and shockwave, so he doesn't just have to follow Nico Baby around the entire time and buff because he's...
Yeah, Hanskin just got away from Thompson. That bushwhack always sets up for the potential sharpshooter, so Hanskin, you know, not gonna wait this out. He has a Yule Scepter queued up, so that the idea here is to completely cancel that sharpshooter initiation. In addition to setting up for the arrow, very high value item this game. And of course, your favorite thing that Mirana does, arrow the cannonball. Oh no! They blocked it. The glyph. They found a way to deal with this disgusting interaction.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I mean, it still kills through glyph, so you know that's a little. I mean, I guess you can also eat creeps through glyph, so that's fine, right? But keeping alive the wagon is just about to guarantee this bottom tier 1 tower. Limp is going to look to apply some pressure mid. We'll actually proc 2 TPs on the like.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Wait, Thompson's joining as well.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Moji's just here to defend the tower. Doesn't seem like they want to engage at all. Seb will try to do the same in the top lane. After all, Sochi's already taken the mid tower. They're looking pretty good when it comes to map control. They should be able to secure a good amount of farm for the Sven. It seems like now it's full recovery for Nico Baby. Let's see if the Empower will work out for him.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
What do you... Okay, so Armlet Sanj, okay. Do you fight immediately on the Armlet Sanj this game? Is that the idea for Nico Baby?
Guess it's my shot.
Not sure. It looks like maybe they were thinking about going for it, but mostly I say that because S4 did have that Blink Dagger queued up. Instead, he just fully bought out the Hood of Defiance, so he's not looking to be this tanky initiator, at least not until Limp has got his own dagger. It seems like they're going to rely a little bit more on the Magnus for the initiation in this game before we can get the dagger on. smoked up, though. He may... Oh, I apologize, actually. SF does have the Blink Dagger. It was just...
Yeah, now he has it, and are they going to try to look for a kill? It seems like with the smoke. They do also have Winter's Curse. Sumail seems quite juicy. Sumail's running back to home though. Yeah, he wants nothing to do with his doom. Thompson, no, there's the hoodwink. Coming in with a bushwhack. Acorn shot on top of that. Nico Baby. Just raging himself to safety. Sumail, he stayed there a bit too long. They doom him, but there's the TPs to respond to this initiation. Will they succeed? They're slowly up. Beast had a distance on Sumail, but he's still they kill the purification, and they actually save him. That's the bushwhack of the purification. Guardian Angel to boot. Sumail will live. The last magic wand to save from the splinter blast damage. In fact, FNG's the one who's going to die for this. OG just bamboozled Alliance. Alliance thought they could really get that kill, but it was all an illusion.
Yeah, mass TPs, definitely well worth it here. At the very least for Alliance, there's no immediate objective available for them to take, but that's going to be a huge loss for them. Nico Baby, at least farming that piece in his own triangle, is not going to be too affected by this, but not exactly what you were looking for here off the Blink Dagger reveal for your Doom, as well as actually stop Limp from farming well. Four back down bottom, though. Saksa, yeah, he's got Icarus 9. Wait. Has already maxed himself with these fire spirits.
Damage!
Thompson with the TD rune activated, chasing after hand skin. Oh, he actually is going to be able to find him with the Ironwood tree, and Seb blinking on in to secure the kill. Is going to be able to get the job done.
Anchor shot apparently is for noobs. Real pros use Ironwood tree to set up for their kills.
I mean, it is instant.
Yeah, it is. Acorn shot does have a little bit of a travel time, of course. You can also see the animation. Well, it does give vision, though.
True. Sure, but if you know where they are, I guess it's not too big of a concern. That was quite the kill up from Thompson. I don't remember the Dota 2 anime. Usually, wasn't it Marcy that kills the squirrel? Instead?
Oh, it's true, actually.
They got that one wrong here, but not bothered by that one. Bit of extra gold in his pocket.
Can you imagine? Thompson just watched the anime, that one moment made him cry. Can't believe he killed the squirrel. Finally gets to avenge it. He's been training a hoodwink mid for ages. OG just didn't want to let him play it. This is all a whole arc of the anime. I think Thompson would like that. I think that would be something that would suit his character.
I think something that's actually like quite a big strength here from OG is the fact that they do have a mid laner and a support who will gladly play Hoodwink, because we've seen how strong it can be on regions, and just being able to first pick it and still willing to take that one mid makes it really weird to draft against. And all the way to top blue, like breaking out.
With the bushwhack, he's not getting out of this one. They even got strike. They don't mince their words here. They're gonna go full on with the ultimate, or mince their spells rather. And they also gonna go for that Roshan.
Yeah, just to highlight this, the level 4 Heavenly Grace is a bonus 50 damage here at Sumail when he's got the God Strength active. And that's huge in the early game as well. I mean, it's 16 minutes in, and basically to free Relic, it's huge.
Yeah. Let's get to now play against him. I think killed his partner. Now we're heavily waiting for Sumail, but the Parasite will keep asking. She can kill him. That's forward. Doesn't get Sumail to do it, but everything's falling around him. All of the Alliance has to retreat. OG, they don't seem to care. Yeah, they've lost the Omnight, but everything else has died. Alliance just lost 3 for this. Nico Baby still wants to go in, get some fights by Parasite into the bushwhack. Sumail just got rid of his Doom, which means the Stormhammer was ready and available to finish off the Lifestealer.
Yeah, that's now a back-to-back death there for Nico Baby. I mean, they were doing their best to try and contest the Roshan, but if you cannot control Saksa in these team fights, it's just the ultimate counter to your team fight here. There's a Supernova in the pit. They knew it was, they knew there was a Supernova somewhere, they just didn't have vision on it. And so awkward. No one could chase any further to try and secure the kill onto Sumail. They very easily are able to finish off Roshan. And Sumail is just farming like a madman here. He's got so much money.
I love seeing Thompson laugh. I could tell that was the sharpshooter kill that made him laugh at that. Protected by the egg. I mean, that's another way to protect the egg. Oh no! Oh no! They left the nether shot behind. What's happening? Someone pick up the nether shot. Oh, okay, Sumail was just leaving it for later. Oh, it's Alliance?
No, apologies.
No, it's theirs. No, it's theirs. Yeah, okay. I just thought I'd come out from one of the creeps. Okay, and you give it, of course, to the Sven because amplify the Sven's magic damage.
Is under attack.
That's going to be really nice versus Wyvern versus the Doom. that's gonna be the name of the game for them for now. He's going immediately into the Daedalus, though. Doesn't feel the need for a BKB when he's got the Omni Knight to back him up.
Radiant structures are
Fair,
fortified.
honestly. It's a good way to close in this matchup that Jenkins was the 114 matchup, we'll call it, between Lifestealer and Sven. In fact, they want to go for the kill.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
There's Thompson who can give chase. He still has the Ironwood tree, but unfortunately,
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Seb Thompson is going to be a little bit too early there.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Escape,
attack.
but no matter, Sumail still able to find that tier 1 tower with the utmost of
Shadows take
I see what trick Thompson is using now. I didn't notice it until now, but he uses the Ironwood tree so he can use the bushwhack, because the bushwhack is a long projectile, or takes a while to get there, and use the Ironwood tree immediately. I've tried a million times, so you can't use it with Acorn Shot, so you have to use Acorn Shot first.
Got him, in trouble, he's got the guard active, but he is going to get focused and killed. That was going to be an RP out for them. Limp. Tanking is definitely worth it, and I'd agree, you're not really looking to fight OG now. There, at least while this Aegis is up. Winter's Curse, nice job, that will allow FNG to TP away, but it's not going to get a kill on this.
That trick is good. Throw the bushwhack, then immediately the tree. I like that. I mean, it didn't get to the Winter Wyvern this time, but it's very smart.
You used to be able to do that until they buffed her. Well, they buffed the speed of Acorn Shot, and now it's a little bit too fast for you to do that reliably. So yeah, so Seb, probably a little bit, or sorry, Thompson make that. It's just doing the same trick here with the Ironwood trick instead. One into this Aghanim Scepter. Damage amplification. Somebody get through this cold embrace heal.
Exactly, that trick no longer works. Limp, another bushwhack, but this time he knows, just destroy the trees. Best way to get rid of the bushwhack.
Radiant's courier.
And we're gonna see the build that Thompson loves going, which is gonna be the Aghanim Scepter immediately. A way to buff damage, buff the magical damage rather, and also reduce the standard resistance with that Hunter's Boomerang. Nico baby. You're not gonna catch him with the bushwhack.
No, likely not. That seems like a tall order. Even with this combo, it'd have to be Seb initiating onto him yet again. So Nico Baby definitely realizing there's enemy heroes missing off the map. Instead, it's going to be self and power buff. I just finished off the full Heaven's Halberd now next to the AC.
Sumail is just gonna farm these Ancients, right? He's gonna dominate over the triangle. Alliance just want to avoid fights at all costs, it seems like. Waiting for the Lifestealer to kind of get online. I mean, I guess he's somewhat online with the Heaven's Halberd, but not enough to deal with Sven, it seems like.
There's a Doom on the Soxa, yet again, just using these big ultis when they're not looking for a fight necessarily. He will tick down, although Hanskin leaping forward to make sure he can get the kill. Sumail is going to pick up the kill onto Soxa, over actually denying, sorry, he picks up the kill onto Hanskin rather, over denying Soxa. Gold here.
Okay, I mean, I don't think denies that. Okay, you give Doom a bit more gold. He's gonna get gold anyway with Devour. I think the kill is much more worth it.
You want the kill. You want the kill, especially if you're a Sven. I mean, you're so far ahead. You do everything you can. That's in essence what they're doing with the Aegis here. OG not really making any efforts to swoop up and look for fights themselves. Just looking to get damage item onto Sumail. Probably queue up the BKB next.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
To go to need more damage here.
And the way that Sven is built in, by the way, used to be the logic of why Sven was good against Lifestealer. This you deal so much burst damage and physical, of course, that Lifestealer can't heal in time with a feast, and that was the logic years ago before he got the attack speed buffs, etc., etc. But after Jenkins pub, of course, this was not the case anymore. And pros realized after that 114 pub that Sven actually loses to the Lifestealer. I still think the logic is pretty good. Oh, 117. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Master Jenkins. So yeah, the Sven now going for, I think, is the right build against the Lifestealer, which is getting as much damage as possible. As you said, not concerning yourself with BKB because really everything pierces BKB anyway on Alliance, so you might as well ignore it.
That's a good point, actually. It's not too great of a BKB. For S4, he's got his now completed. Might need to use it here. Also, Mal might just be able to burst through. There's going to be the bushwhack, and they've secured the kill. They just reclaimed in the same swift movement, however. We're going to have that one to play with here for the from OG.
So now, Alliance, I'm wondering what power spec they really think is going to be the right one. Maybe it's going to be the ACL Lifestealer. That is going to mitigate a lot of the damage on Sven, but for now, it's just pick off. Oh, Nico Baby. He might get picked off himself. Limp. There's the bushwhack combo yet again. He has a sharpshooter ready. I don't think Limp will make out of this one alive. He won't. Off with his head. FNG with the next target does have a Winter's Curse.
It's not even my birthday.
Bushwhack actually got him. don't know how, but Thompson is not going to let anyone escape. Alliance loses 2 for free, and yet again, these initiations, they're testing the waters, trying to find simple kills, but any small mistake here means an overcommitment.
Yeah, and that's kind of exactly what the panel was talking about here. You know, you TP, and Saksa TPs in, just waste no time dropping the egg immediately, and Alliance, and again, in no position to destroy that Supernova, are just left in a really awkward spot. They actually used the Supernova stun to continue chains down and up Limp. He had no chance to get there. Surprised that he went for a kidnapping play like that without had the BKB full. Pretty darn close to it here.
A kidnapping? Is that what you call it? The skewer? Sorry? Is that the skewer play? A kidnapping?
Yeah. I mean, you know, okay. It's the same thing for the tiny. You just or the squirrel napping, right? Whoever happens to get.
Okay. No. I was just asking because it's called. I've seen it called fishing kidnapping. That's the first time I hear it from
fishing. Sure. We'll go fishing. We'll go with fishing.
That was very dark. Okay.
Dire are scanning.
Sumail, though, with so much damage, Echo Saber now, and the Daedalus uses that Mask of Man.
Radiant
wants to get through the tower. They will lose the tier 1 in exchange for this.
Dire's middle tower is under
that trade.
attack.
Smoked up behind.
Dire's middle tower
in now on that. Won't yet have it.
Okay.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Once you get that BKB, perhaps they'll feel more confident to go in and force a 5-on-5. Snap is still looking scary, but you don't have Heaven's Halberd now to sort of deal with it. I haven't really seen a single like teamfight Winter's Curse, mostly just escape Winter's Curses. Or big teamfight Winter's Curse, rather.
Yeah. Well, we might see one now. Limp's got the BKB on the way. Tower helping him with that. Is that we're looking for here? We won't quite be able to finish full AC for Baby. We'll have the plate now for that extra one. Burst.
That's very important. We also get the boomerang now for Thompson.
Radiant's middle tower is under
most
attack.
important, I think, in this game is the lowering the shadow resistance. That's going to allow them to, honestly, perma-stun the Lightstealer yet again. They've been doing a good job of it until now.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Initiation by S4, though. And this is the kidnapping you're talking about. For the Sand King. And it succeeds. Seb is dead. Nico Baby wants to go further, hoping to kill off the Sven. The Supernova is keeping the Lions at bay. It's not the only to do it. The rest of Alliance is use the high ground. Winter's Curse not going to start that sharpshooter. He's going to score for the green. I mean, we're already up to 3. And they're going to punish it all at once. That area damage is too much for OG to deal with. Alliance finally taking the teamfight of their dreams, and with the Inferno Blade, they cancel Sox's TP and get the last kill they were looking for. They want to turn this into a team wipe. They will accomplish it with one last skewer. Triple kill for Limp. What a skewer RP there in the middle of the fight.
Oh yeah. Again, BKB was their go time here, which is why I was shocked that they went for that play earlier in the mid-tier 1 tower. A bit ambitious, but now we see why, you know, they were really eager to look for a fight after this one. Roshan is up. I'm not sure if they know about it. Instead, it looks to perhaps get a cheeky little tier 3 tower here.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I like the organization RP, right? You gotta bunch them up, like you're picking up your toys, and then you stun all of them up together. He's made his own vacuum there.
He's got the evidence to go for it here. Blink stun, maybe though way too fast. Immediately on the rage. Lip doesn't have BKB, doesn't need it though. Nico Baby gonna walk off the high ground. Use Scepter play though. Not gonna set him up for much here. Be able to escape.
That was an I can do it too, Seb. Watch me. Just yells him right after. Don't let him sit up whatsoever. Nico really wanted those racks because he went for the melee. Unless they take another fight soon, they're gonna end up reaching him. That's why I think he was committing a bit further for them.
And now without Epicenter, or, you know, really any of the ultimates here for a while, at least Sumail's got God's Strength back soon, Supernova in 10, Sharpshooter doesn't really have a cooldown. But no GA and no Epicenter. I'm surprised that Alliance aren't considering going for it. They've scouted it.
Limp.
Second Roach, they do it extremely fast.
OG is scouting, that's for sure. Yeah, God's Strength yet again, so Nico Baby's like, yeah, you're right, I forgot something in that top lane. Takes the racks immediately. He's gonna go back. I'm assuming, I mean, they should guess something's happening. It's definitely the Roche. Oh, S4 just walks in. S4 almost got killed. In fact, he might just die here for free. S4 barely getting out. This is the curse, and the curse will kill Thompson. Friendly fire here from Sumail. Thompson has no buyback. But they can still take the Roche as they go for FNG right now. There's a Stormhammer. They don't have any more natural damage, just waiting on that. The Doom for Sumail. Not be able to Mordecai himself. There's a Supernova, but quite defensive this time. And Nico just walks into it. Rage is not going to stop the stun. But allowed to get away with murder. The murder, the Sanking specifically.
And now Alliance can just finish Roshan. I mean, it's on 4k HP. You don't have the squirrel for another 20 seconds. There's going to be no initiation here. It's all going to be on Seb here to initiate. No Supernova either. Yeah, they're going to be able to just say, thank you very much. You know, we were a little bit busy taking your top lane of barracks, and how nice of us for you to prep Roshan for us as well.
That's exactly.
So kind, OG, as Alliance just take it right away. There's the shard given to Limp. I actually like that very much. If he's getting good skewers and good RPs, getting the horn toss too.
Is under attack.
That horn toss is really, really nice. You can catch multiple people with that as well, and it makes your combo a little bit easier to execute. You can go fishing even faster here now on our Magnet and horn. It's going to be a little bit of an uphill battle for OG. I was really expecting them to be able to go through that Roche a little bit faster, but the Moonlight Shadow, like I always said, it's kind of, you know, really showing its strength here. Not even kind of, it is. FNG just walks straight up to Thompson, gets a little bit scared for a second before he realizes Thompson has absolutely no idea he's here. And then they kind of just send in S4 to clump him up.
The classic way to deal with cores is be invisible. They don't know what dust is. It's not in their inventory ever. And that Winter's Curse so valuable. I mean, it's also because the big difference in terms of HP between Hoodwink and the Sven, right? You're not going to Winter's Curse the Sven, but Hoodwink is a prime target, and a glass cannon is the ideal situation for a Winter Wyvern. Some good curses, though, in general by FNG, so credit where credit is due. OG are setting up for a fight here.
Yeah, it's a good one as well, especially if they can find Limp. They've got vision. There's going to be the jump onto Limp now. Disarm for a while. It's going to be Sumail. No Supernova quite yet for Soxa. He's holding on to it. Limp healed up. Look at the heal, and even with the Sunray, Nico Baby right on top of the Supernova. He's going to be able to scramble it, and then he will be able to get that one done. Just about on the cusp of losing the Aegis as the stun from Seb will do just about that. Haskins leaping in. Oh, the crits from Sumail, though, will put him down immediately. Nico Baby's now back, ready to just run away, actually, with that Rage already active. Double buyback out from Alliance, though, is going to spook OG, and they'll back up to their high ground.
Yep. And with this, seems like the guys from Alliance want to continue putting up the pressure. I mean, they want to utilize these buybacks for something. Perhaps bait out an OG who now used all the resources except for Epicenter and Guardian Angel. Not the biggest things here, but well, here the Epicenter, they go for the light dealer. Apparently it's going to be huge for goal. Yeah, it's the range in time. RP to go back up, there's the RP as well. Sumail gets up on the Guardian Angel for the stealth immediately by the Doom. Who needs Purge when you got Doom? Sumail's down for the count, and they want to go for the squirrel as well, but Thompson is capable of scurrying back to safety. S4 might be in trouble now. Under Boomerang, these stuns last too long. S4 is not going to be able to get away. 70 seconds without him.
We have a curse coming from FNG.
Nice arrow.
Yeah, they're going to go for it. There's going to be the skewer onto Sumail. Look how far he's been fished away. That's a dieback on Sumail. It's in for 110 seconds. Oh, there's the horn toss and almost the ancient golem. They're getting the kill, but at the end of the day, it's now Nico Baby with 2 extra kills off the tail end of that fight. OG were just hoping to chase a bit further, but this ward paying dividends. Our observers highlights Alliance straight back up into the high ground like they initially intended.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
We're going to actually catch Limp here, and that's going to be a dieback from Limp. So actually really good kill by OG here, as they're going to be pushing high ground at the same time as we watch this replay. You know, high ground's dangerous, guys.
Beautiful.
Dire's bottom tower.
That arrow was on point, to be honest. High ground was. We'll see. As they want to go for the Sanky, dispels the open wounds immediately. Nico Baby realizes he's not going to heal as much, but the Fiend's doing a bit to keep him alive. He starts an infest. They catch him with a perfect. As it goes Soxa, Winter's Curse. There's nothing hitting him though. And neither can Alliance's team do so right now as they infest the Winter Wyvern, hoping to let FNG live. But FNG's already dead. They have to go hit the end. Nico Baby going straight and scrambling it yet again as Nico proceeds to murder No Tail. No chance for No Tail. Thompson trying to get him with a scurry. Nico is going to chase him to the ends of the earth. Nico Baby wants this skill. but he gets bushwhacked instead, and he's dizzy a bit, turning around a bit too much. Nico won't die here, but he also is not going to get the kill he was looking for. The reinforcements are coming though. S4 running towards the base, or the enemy base, mind you.
As Seb is popped back, there's enough spells to use, as there's going to be the stun onto Seb initially though. You'll set it up, Scott Burrow Strike if he can just get away with it. He actually Burrow Strikes aggressively. He's not going to do anything because S4's BKB'd and Nico Baby was raged. I'm back instantly though on Seb as now they look to finally get Nico Baby out of the base. He's still holding on to a cheese though, although now consuming that one as he is bushwhacked to the tree and broken, or blinking away. Now just the rage TP. Guess what? Nothing to go through it. He's free to go.
Alright. They are going to hit the winter wagon though with this. FNG needs to find a way to escape. Instead, he's just going to gain some time for his team. As the Doom also finding a hook here. S4 trying to run away from Thompson, who's almost out of spells, but Thompson doesn't seem to care. Even with low mana, he can chase after this Doom. All he needs is a bushwhack to set up for this. In fact, Sumail's running towards him, but S4 now is a bit too far gone. He might even be able to set up for a kill here if Alliance wants to re-engage.
So just a quick update on buybacks, by the way. Only 3 heroes didn't buy back in that last fight, being S4, Nico Baby, and Thompson. Thompson the only hero currently with buyback, but S4 is just 1 Devour away from it. That is actually hero. So pretty chaotic. A couple of diebacks to say the least. But OG, they still hang on to this game. They only actually lose the tier 3 at bottom lane, and they eventually get through the Aegis and Cheese, and are just hoping to now get into a better position to fight for perhaps this next Roshan.
Yeah, I got a nullifier now, fresh for that Nico Baby. Good way to cancel. I mean, you already needed to purge. Nullifier will proceed to cancel all of the Guardian Angel shenanigans. No more scurrying. You might have just gotten tired of the scurrying, to be honest. Because that last fight, that's what saved Hoodwink completely.
I mean, it's also going to be really nice versus the Omni too, right? It's kind of the item that he's going to, now that you don't...
Yeah, you can still Guardian Angel it out. Sorry, you can still Heavenly Grace it out. So, there's ways, and it not being purgeable like the Repel. That was very dumb, by the way, for the longest time. Like, it gives you magic immunity, but you can purge it? What? What kind of magic immunity is this? I was always very surprised by that.
I mean, Oracle's got that now, right? On the Edict.
No, it gives you magic. It gives you 100% magic resistance. Different, friend. Magic immunity was the be-all, end-all of. It's the BKBs, you know. It's the creme de la creme of spells.
Especially back then when really strong. It's got a little bit of a change with some of those patches some time ago that everyone complained about, and now we all got used to it.
It's true. As we always do, right? New changes, we always complain. You can tell AUI, for example, is one of those players, the old guard, because he was talking about the Fusel Blade purging it. Like, okay. Yeah. That was an okay boomer moment from the panel.
Get more charges for it. Purge's doing Weatherman segments now.
Yeah, exactly. He's gone from a sword to a talent. Imagine. Nico Baby. Is he going to look for an infest kill here, or is he going to save it still like he's done for these past few fights?
I think he's just going to get level 25. I think they're going to wait till this 25 talent to fight, and then they're going to look for it. I mean, Roche is going to be up to both of these teams. They know it's going to be about this next
tower is under attack.
Vision, and just put themselves in it that fight easily.
That is actually beautiful, that graphic. Yes, he's going to go. I'm assuming the Rage Tower. The win rate of the other talents sometimes is a bit of a lie, because when they have such a low pick rate, it's often picked a meme or because you're winning by a bunch, right?
Yeah, what do you mean? Albert didn't end all his games in the major with 6 Desolators?
The prize is mine!
Right? Or how Divine Raper is one of the highest win rates, because of course if you're winning with it, you probably did something right.
No sorceries allowed.
It's an AC finish. Seb jumping forward. Will find Hanskin. Thompson immediately throwing forward the bushwhack, but my goodness, fucking even his own damage. No buyback available. Seb is a bit too tanky now, especially with the Lotus Orb, so Nico Baby's not going to want to go on him. That open wounds, of course, doesn't want that reflected. He has taken that rage talent here. It's the game. Seb actually not too far from his own here.
Pretty decent, actually. I'm assuming it's going to be the slow blind here. I mean, the epicenter pulses is kind of decent if it was like a level 20 talent. I don't think it's stack rated level 25. Well, against lifestealer, not when PKPs are up.
Yeah, exactly. Not with this Rage talent, and especially not with the Lincoln Sphere, because now you can't even stun him. So he's going to be able to pop Rage and just kind of laugh in your face. Plus with 3k HP without the armlet active, there's 3600 now with the armlet active. I don't know if it's really that strong. Who knows? Maybe he's done the back of the napkin math and all right call.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be the Sandstorm. Particularly because also the Sandstorm blind here. It forces some awkward BKB usages. Because what if Life has to Rage just to deal with the Sandstorm's blind? Right, that's very annoying. Or to be able to escape the slow. It adds a whole dimension to Sandstorm's toolkit. I think that's one of the best talents, honestly, you have.
That is true, although I will say, you know, Limp is just going to go, okay, I'll just horn toss you and skewer you outside of your Sandstorm. Or I'll force the fight somewhere else by just robbing Sumail and fishing him away from the fight. You know, that is going to be a bit difficult, right? It's a lot like playing against the Wukong's command in that way.
He's in his burrow, you kidnap him away, as you would say.
Yep.
I think that's the appropriate term. Found the Roshan hero. Nico maybe he's even surprised, but it's like, guys, there's a Roshan. Ags is ready on the Roshan as well. Do you have any... Actually, it's a good Doom Ags game, to be honest. To remove the cleave completely from the smash, pretty big deal. Oh, the Cross actually plays against him here. No dildo, and dispel him. Molotov helping him out, dispelling the nullifier. In comes Seb, hoping for a kill, and he might just find it on Limp, but from behind S4 interrupts his initiation. He actually used the BKB, trying to tank the rest of OG. He doesn't lose Limp in the process. Supernova has completed, but life goes safe and sound. There's the Winter Scourge to set the fight. There's only 790 out there right now. No-Dale's going to die here thanks to that nullifier. Limp, he still has the RP, but he doesn't want to use it just on Seb. Waiting for Sumail, really, that's what they want to kill. Sumail comes back in, but he's been disarmed immediately. The head is Salford. Nico maybe too quick. He hits him with a nullifier, but nobody can chase after him. Instead, they're trying to deal with Seb, who's just so annoying. Nobody can actually finish him off. Haskin, like, guess with the arrow? No. But the arrow gives vision for the Yule Scepter, and that's going to be, or should be enough to deal with this pesky Sand King, right? He has the, oh, they're going to use the RP. They're done. They're done with Seb. No more shenanigans. This man has to die. Alliance is trying their best, and they'll finally accomplish it. But what an annoying Sand King that was. So difficult to kill him.
Gleipnir out from Thompson, just looking to force Nico Baby back as he wants to be able to cut these waves. Seb, at the very least, forcing the enemies to take as long as possible to murder him is not going to do that much to stop this Roshan, unfortunately. On these back in 5 seconds, the initiations are just going to be way too difficult here without Seb to blink and burrow strike in for you. Gee, they might have no choice, though. There they go. They're going to at least try and burst through Marana at the very least, but there goes Sumail. At least picks up the TD route, so Limp doesn't want to fight him anymore, as there's going to be the short distance flip onto S4. S4 getting absolutely chunked. They have to use the Winter's Curse just to make sure that he lives. Nico Baby, with the Rage now off cooldown, might be a little bit of a target here as he actually applies the Nullifier, and now that it's option Sumail as he looks to turn and fight. Toxa, though, does not have Super over another 10 seconds. Have at least stunned up the life stealer and broken him now. Sumail getting pushed this way, that way yet again, but he's going to be able to life steal a little bit off of Limp before he flickers back away into the river. Nico Baby after Thompson, now Soxa, who does have the Supernova, will now let it rip, forcing Nico Baby back, and Sumail has jumped onto Limp and absolutely turned him apart in the river. Nico Baby hops inside of FNG. They'll hop right back out, though, as they may look for more.
No sorceries avail.
Nico Baby's still strong, looking for an old tail. He really needs to get rid of this Omnight if he wants to fight the Sven fair and square. It's impossible. Oh no, Nico Baby's been kind of around in the end. You know, they did do the same thing with the Sven, but Sven's Blink Dagger allows him to be able to get in and out of fight. Almost playing like a Tiny in this fight, to be honest. At least they can get the Roche.
It's so huge for Sumail right now, but unfortunately they just can't quite contest it. They bought themselves so much time. That was a dieback penalty on Seb. He was set for 2 full minutes, and he's going to, unfortunately, just miss out on Roche by about 15 seconds. It's been an absolutely beastly fight there for Sand King. Loves fighting around Roshan, but miss out on it this.
So S4 is keeping the Axe and not using it. Is it because he wants to give it to the Marana? I can only imagine. I mean, it's a good Axe from Marana too, so fair. That or S4, I don't know, wants to surprise them.
Radiant's middle tower.
There's a shockwave. Sentinel, that's the Sandstorm slow. Really annoying Limp. In fact, Sumail comes in. Cold Embrace is not going to save him. The Doom has been used though on Sumail. Can they chase after him? That's the question. Doom has no tools to do so. It has to be Limp. He's already lost his first life. Also used the buyback earlier, so he can't play too hastily. it's again this annoying set that's stopping them right in their tracks. Alliance just wants to hit the enemy carry, but are unable to do so because No-Tail says it's impossible. No-Tail using that Guardian Angel will save himself from the lifestealer. The Nullifier finally hits. No-Tail should die in the backline. That poor S4 is going to die himself first. In fact, No-Tail will survive this onslaught. There's Winter Wyvern, FNG, that curse is not going to save from the Sunray. But Ishmael wins RP, they can kill Sumail, put him out of the fight. As Nico Baby, looking for anything he can find at this point, Seb with an epicenter will surprise the madness. And no buyback for him. Blip has to eat the cheese, skews himself, but brings the same thing with him. And the Supernova on top. The TP immediately will save Limp's life.
Man, both carries kind of just got taken for walks there. Now, Nico Baby, he's going to be in a bit of trouble now. He's going to be able to rage and TP away. No-Tail just completely walked him around. Where did Sumail die? Who did he die to? FNG?
He died to the Magnus. He got he RP'd Sven and then proceeded to obviously attack him and kill him. It was not that difficult once he got the RP, but they had to divide the team fight by a lot. It was not easy for them. And Alliance, I mean, honestly, what's keeping Alliance on their toes right now, it's really the sanking. There we go. Thank you, Observer.
Yeah, that's
once
right,
you get the RP out. Yeah, exactly. So Nico Baby comes in, and it was relatively easy kill once they had the RP. But again, this was a huge effort to get Omni-Knight out, get the Sanking out, you know, and that was what finally allowed them to do this. These two heroes are making life impossible for Nico Baby, who just wants to hit. He's a wee lifestealer. All he wants to do is hit his enemy Sven. He wants to be like Jenkins' enemy carry, win that pub, but he can't.
Something you also can't do is look to ignore Sharpshooter. It's going to be upgraded to deal pure damage and go through that spell immunity. You know, that tops into 5 for that God's Strength, which is further buffed, by the way, by Heavenly Grace. It's got that active, of course, because it just adds to your base stats. A big reason why this combo is as strong as it is.
Just a brute force method against the lifestealer. I like it. I think the Hoodwink, though, even bigger than the damage a Sharpshooter will deal, the break is a big deal against Nick. Getting rid of Feast and Gold, I mean, Gold Friends is whatever, but getting rid of Feast is major. He's going to have to heal back up with open wounds, use the Infest cleverly. There's more tools now for OG, and Alliance need to figure out their own tools to deal with the Sanking particularly.
All ones will
press 4. God's Strength. Sumail's gonna want to go for it. The initiation from Set. They're gonna try and pull through S4, but there's the Cold Embrace immediately. SMG still holding on to the Winter's Curse. Will now drop that just to make sure S4 is able to escape. They've doomed up Sumail, but he's got God's Strength active. Not seemingly willing to fight though. And Flip on the way on in. Already using the RP here. Supernova's now out trying to keep Arteezy alive. Heavenly Grace of GA on top as Nico Baby getting melted by the Ray of Sun. He's gonna get stunned on the way back out before he's embraced by FNG. Set with another Starlink with the channel of the epicenter. He's gonna get it off, and that's 2 dead immediately out from the FP alone. Nico Baby finds himself in an awkward spot. They get through the Lincoln Spear, they bushwhack him, and they will be able to get the kill. All in exchange for Sumail. It's gonna be a 4-for-1 trade in favor of OG.
Richie's so American, he's EGs everywhere.
OG, oh my goodness. I heard Sumail and
Hey, you did the call-out for Arteezy is what I was joking about. But OG, they only lose Sumail there. Not that big a deal, honestly. Alliance, though, they will have to find a way to deal with this team fight again. Like that Nullifier, you can tell the Guardian Angel was always available. You don't have the secondary burst, deal with it. And the Heavenly Grace can easily deal with a Nullifier. So that's not the perfect solution for them either.
What is this?
Alliance. What are you...
Oh, Saksa. He's got Refresher. He's done it.
Radiant structures
yeah, he does have the Refresher. That was just a Supernova bait. Oh, the break hurting Marana. I know. Alliance is to find a way to both kill Seb and kill No-Tail at the beginning of the fight. And it seems almost impossible. Seb even went for the extra shard down. More slows around the team fight, a bit of extra damage.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's middle
already,
barracks
though,
are under attack.
At least try and equalize here. There are issues in the base though. There's 2 wagons and a single wave of super creep. Currently looking to get that last tier 4 tower down that OG has in their base. But we'll have to be back and defend the base from just creeps alone.
Okay. OG. They do go back, but I think this team fight's looking stronger for them. Like I said, because of the way they're proposing them. So I don't think they're in a rush right now to finish this. It's not like they just recovered a small lead. It's like they're actually coming back into the game, despite the fact that Lifestealer has such net worth. These team fights are just looking really good for them. And I mean, the best solution to life is just kiting him. Nico Bay might consider at some point going for some sort of mobility, like a Blink Dagger. For now, he's thinking of Scotty as a way to slow down the Omni-Knight. Actually, not a bad idea. Together with a Ghoul Frenzy. Hopefully that's enough. And then at least if you can kill Omni, then fine, Sankin can roam around and do his shenanigans, but kill the Omni-Knight so you can deal with this Sven.
Already the Bloodstone flying out to him here, so he's gonna have a little bit of lifesteal in these fights and a bit of burst healing at his disposal now. Shard on top of this, of course, now only triggers if there's any OG. They're gonna behind here though. Limp ready to break smokes. It's RP.
Gotta beat it by the burst. With the Doom heroes there, this got triggered. Wanna kill the Sankin. Walking towards the egg though. Gotta destroy Sunset. The RP to punch him up, and they know set the target. That Doom was worth it. Goodbye set. With the nullifier, they get rid of no kill, and then now get rid of no kill. The Supernova has been available though, but they're only gonna kill Sven. So who cares if the egg explodes? Your Gary's dead, OG. What are you gonna do now? Alliance might even pick Thompson for a ride. He's explored the box on top of that. There's Shotgun to get him back. They want Thompson on top of that. Nullifier gets rid of the Scurry. Thompson needs to use the force right. Why is he gonna kill him before he dies? Just needs to get away from Nico Baby. But Nico Baby's not letting up. Thompson trying to scurry in the trees. Nico Baby's afraid of no trees. They just not like a clip. He's going to kill Thompson. Tried his best. But there's ever so much you can do against the Lifestealer. Alliance are now going to do it. They're actually going to reach the high again a second time after a couple of missed team fights. They finally found a solution.
They're just going for quick choice. There's no buyback on Sumail right now. It's going to be still be on cooldown for another minute, even if he had the gold, which he doesn't, by the way. Tier 4 tower already nuked through by the creep, but Nico Baby focusing onto the throne as S4 just making sure they can get rid of Thompson one last time. He's doing a fair bit of damage. He's going to have to pop the BKB. Nico Baby and Limp though, objective gamers here, going straight for the throne, and the GG is chopped. Alliance, they do it. They win 2-0 here. This is OG. They're going to the lower bracket finals where they're facing T1 tomorrow.
FNG always with a delayed happiness, but such a pure expression. Meanwhile, S4, this is what happiness looks like for S4. Look at that slight smile. It charms anyone here. It was an impressive game by Alliance, and honestly, OG. There was a moment where I really thought they were doing just purely on mechanical skill. I don't think they drafted anything raw against them, and the Sanking was doing so much. Even went for an Aeon Fist preemptively to deal with a Doom. But one misplay at that point would have crushed your whole lineup, and that's exactly what happened. That small misplay where Sanking was a bit out of position, you got rid of him, got rid of the Omni-Knight, and then what do? Alliance just had a stronger core-to-core matchup. They took advantage of it. So with that,
Alliance return OG the sender and